Gielinor. The group came across this loud sound of like a motor, and when approaching, they found the hut of Cook Sanjo, who was mentioned by the father of that family earlier. And
Now, he was mentioned by Sanjo. You never asked the cook his name.
oh, I thought the cook's name was Sanjo. Okay, okay. Oh, Sanjo's the dad. Right, right. Okay, understandable. Okay, so, um, yeah, essentially we tried to knock and just get some information, and he was really jumpy. Like he had a musket in our faces the whole time. And honestly, he was really close to probably shooting one of us in the nose. Until Peyton, big brain, decided to turn a bunch of corpses into bananas with our favorite RuneScape spell, and he uh was successfully able to convince him that we were merchants at first. Eventually, he figured that we were smugglers, but just the fact that we weren't hostile and weren't being overly aggressive, he assumed that we're like good-spirited people. So he let us in, and essentially we tried to ask him some information on how going to the palace would go. We're kind of posing as merchants trying to sell to the palace. Uh, Overall, he really wouldn't give us any information. He did say one thing about how the powder dogs trading contraband, sorry, to someone named M. And thing is, he wouldn't tell us where the like trails were to the palace uh that were unsupervised, because he was afraid that the observers would do some kind of mind tricks to get him to talk. Yeah, he essentially he didn't want to get caught for anything. Even with all the temptations of bananas and soap that we could muster. But we gave the poor guy some bananas and soap anyway. Um, One thing he also told us was that, uh, what's her name?
The
God damn
Queen
it.
Mother.
Yeah, the Queen Mother, but there's, someone came 2 years ago before all this shit went down. It says with an A. Asi?
Asayen.
There you go, there you go.
The guru
Yeah,
of the former guru of the League of Excellence.
Yep. So maybe they're related to this Rift business? Who knows? But either way, yeah, we eventually depart. And, the fun thing is that Peyton shows us how he did the whole corpses to livestock trick. We decided to leave most of them. Maybe we took a few, but I don't know. Maybe that's cannibalism. Who could tell? Yeah, honestly, that sounds like a philosopher's issue. But on our end, we eventually moved south towards the city of the Ashen Pale, and town. I'm guessing city, but yeah, ash essentially is like raining from the air. Like it's like a snowstorm of ash. Like if we didn't have masks, I think we wouldn't last like a minute out here. So we were trailing through the Ashen Grove, Ashen Pale, until we got essentially attacked by who we assumed to be the harvesters. Uh, they tried to attack us, but we're eventually able to stave them off, and we were able to kind of capture one. It took us a while to look into them, like kind of like investigate, like take some of the things that they left behind. We took off this guy's mask, and it was just kind of a barky, strange driftwood sort of thing. But apparently, that wasn't very aesthetic, if you know what I mean. Because when he woke up, he freaked out when we didn't give him back his mask, and he essentially, what did he do? He shriveled up and died. Essentially, he like screamed to death and just dropped dead. So we'll have to keep that in mind next time we capture one of these guys. but that's essentially what happened. Last time on Gielinor.
Thank you for that bookend. So, just making sure I have this right, we were at 2 fails for Bijutsu, 2 for Musoka, and 1 for Shiroku, is that right?
Oh, we were all cleared up. We all reluctantly took the suck and agreed never to speak of it again.
And I failed.
Oh,
one.
that's right. Well, we were
I
at 1
think
for
so.
Shiroku then,
Yeah, I
right?
failed.
One fail at
afterwards.
for Shiroku.
Because you did say that next session we would start with Constitution saves.
Yes, that is right. So, as the lot of you stumble out of this ruined structure, standing on its own here in the Ashen Pale, catching your breath, what there is of it from this sudden, brief, but still somewhat harrowing encounter with these harvesters, you can't stop yourself from taking in a few deep breaths, even through your cloth. And so I need everyone but Jin, to make con saves with advantage.
Okay. Ah, Shiriku.
All right. Shiruku, as you step out, you start coughing and coughing, and you are at 2 fails. Disadvantage on dexterity, strength, and charisma skill checks, as well as on perception checks. And dark vision does not currently apply.
You doing all right there, Silver Tongue?
Nope.
All right then. Well, shit's hit the fan again. Let's get into town, get some masks, look out for Mr. Occult Swordsman, and then get the fuck out of here.
Sounds like a plan.
At this point, Musoka, your gust of air that was clearing away some of the ashes has dissipated. That spell has fizzled out. You can feel the weight of just these swirls, eddies of ash all around you, feeling as if you are having to practically pry your way through this environment, these jagged skeletons of old house frames around you. There's this kind of peppery taste on the air, and there's this slightly rotten egg smell, faint in your nostrils. I think Fukuro is the first to see this, but he kind of silently points it out to the rest of you. A couple of figures that have the look almost as if they are swimming through this ash. But then you realize as their silhouettes become more and more defined in this swirling gray, it's not really a mist, but it almost may as well be. You can see that they actually look to be human, but propped up on these particularly tall stilts, walking through this ash that to you is knee-deep on all fours.
It's more of those gray.
At least the visibility. Shit.
Is there is this kind of like a straight street, or is it possible to like turn a corner?
You can turn a corner. It's sort of like you can make out there must have at one point been more of a setup of like city blocks, or maybe not
Right.
city blocks, maybe more neighborhood blocks, but that the buildings in this particular area have for the most part been ruined. It's easy to kind of duck through any of them.
All right. Let's try our best to take the long route around them. And like Sotsu said, don't make eye contact.
So, as you guys move to avoid this pair of figures, they don't seem to take any notice of you. They didn't even seem to acknowledge you, but you give them a wide berth. They shamble on past. You guys are just kind of continuing southwards, deeper into the city.
Yeah.
You're trying to find some trace of civilization, really, rather than ruins.
as you continue to wade through, the ash building up around you, kind of slowing your progress, you can't really get a clear view of what the next block of what more than the next few meters holds with the thickness of this. But eventually you start to realize that the structures are becoming a little bit more whole, even if they're clearly not in good repair. Um, you see that several of these buildings appear to have been constructed out of metal, some kind of low quality iron, but several of these, the foundations themselves, these metal foundations, it looks like staves in the ground, are bent or look almost half melted. And every once in a while, you pass underneath these bridges that seem to here and there extend between the upper floors of these buildings. The bridges themselves look less planned, less architectural than the buildings. They look much more clearly makeshift, constructed out of debris, driftwood.
Do we ever see anyone using the bridges?
Make a perception check, which you would do with disadvantage.
Oh, have we?
Oh,
Shiroku doesn't see anything. He's having a hard enough time as it is placing his feet in front of each other.
Yeah, with watery eyes, he looks up and just sees a bit of a blur. I am not doing
Would
so
I?
well.
are you alright? Are you... You know.
It's the ash.
It's the ash. Okay, well, the hope is that once we get further in, we'll be able to take refuge in some kind of a building. At some point. Ugh. You know what? Can I like see if I could see anyone on the bridges?
Sure, go ahead and roll a perception check. And Bijutsu, why don't you roll a perception check with advantage?
Oh boy!
I did worse than Chiruku. Nice.
Yeah, Musoka, you kind of helping Shiruko along as you can. You're sort of too distracted to make out anyone on the bridges. Bijutsu, you're looking around. But what you suddenly pick up on is not people on the bridges, but a shift. Something electrical in the air. You almost think it's a change in air pressure. And when you feel this, you realize that you can smell that rotten eggs much more strongly.
What the shit? It's more feel it. You can almost kind of see the two Eska on her head just kind of twitch a bit in response to the electricity and like the changes she's feeling.
As you look further down this alley, you can see another one of these bridges going across the street, and one of these stilt creatures kind of just loitering around underneath it.
Do they look different from the other ones, or
What's that?
do they look any different from the other ones?
Fairly similar to the other ones. Maybe a little bit less bestial in its movement. Maybe it looks a little bit more lucid.
Okay.
Does it look like it's sort of well, never mind, you said loitering, didn't you? It doesn't look like it's doing anything under the bridge, it's just standing there.
It sort of seems to be it seemed like they have kind of like a staff of some kind. It looks like there's a bit of a bundle on one edge of it, and they're doing something. It kind of looks like it might be just a nervous motion, or it might be somehow sifting through the ash.
Since we're so close to civilization, I feel like we don't need to be as jumpy anymore. I think if we just keep our head down and move forward, nothing bad will happen.
It is at this point, as you guys sort of are figuring out what to do, you realize that that rotten egg smell is growing much stronger, and you can see this gray ash not just swirling randomly, but seeming to all be shooting up in a spot that's not more than a few feet in front of you. It seems like it's right between you and that figure at the end of this alley. I need everyone to make a dexterity saving throw.
Shit.
Oh. Uh,
Let me make one for Fukuro.
No.
oh man.
Sure,
Failing.
you have disadvantage. Wait, no, that was just on checks, not saves. Ignore me.
It would be so
Yeah, sorry,
terrible to,
God.
like trip or fall here because you'd like drown in ash. Oh.
Wait, did Jin make his roll?
There you go.
There we are.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so I kind of try to figure out how to apply like the shield AC here because of feet, but due to this, this thingy.
Oh, yeah. So you can
Alright.
add?
Yeah.
So you can add +2 to any dexterity saving throw you make.
Yep.
Okay, that's good because that puts you just at the threshold. As this smell grows stronger and stronger, suddenly you hear this burst, and you're not even sure what's happened for a second. You have a ringing in your ears, but instinctively, most of you manage to dive clear. Jin, still in motorcycle form, seems to have created some kind of a blast shield or something to fend off the worst of it. But Peyton, your old man reflex is a little bit slower than everyone else. For a second, you're conscious of seeing that bizarre creature at the edge of the alley just suddenly flying. You think to yourself, that's odd. I didn't realize they were able to fly. Before realizing you yourself are airborne, and bam! As you land with this plume back into the ash, realizing that there's a glow not too far from you, and instinctively trying to slough off the outer layer of your robes as you realize that part of your skin is burning from what seems like magma. As the rest of you turn around, getting your wits back about you, you can see that you can't clearly see the rift, but there is some orange glowing in the middle of the street, and now you can hear voices, shouts, and see people up on these two catwalks near you, sort of running, and see them grabbing things.
Shit.
More harvesters!
No,
Error.
it's not harvesters. It's effing lava again, or something like it.
What?
Yeah, that came from the ground.
Peyton, are you
Are you okay, Peyton?
No. Yeah. No. Yes. No.
I help him up. Where's
As you
this?
pull Peyton away from there, you can see that stilt figure kind of barely outlined in this orange glow that's already getting already diminishing, that seems to have just been obliterated by this sudden blast. You hear these shouts above you, and you see that from up on these catwalks, there's people just in silhouette you can see that seem to have this large tin bucket. You're not sure what it is, but they toss it over and some kind of, it looks like dirt, onto this spot where this rift has opened up.
Here, we need to back away from the rift.
Yeah, no shit.
Come on! Musoka helps Peyton up, and she kind of spots him while we run.
How far are we running? Are we just going 20 feet away, so we're not next to the lava spewing rift, or
Like 20 feet away, I'd say, because I do want to see what the deal is with these these guys.
Yeah, so we're just getting out
seem
of
to be
the way
helping.
of imminent danger.
Yeah. So watching that gray, does it seem like he was just like caught up in like he didn't cause anything? He just like got caught up in whatever this explosion was?
Roll an insight check.
Sure. Insight. Alright.
From what you could tell, he did seem to be doing something, sifting through the ash, but it did not seem like it was some act of sabotage. Either this was a complete fluke that he was caught in, or if he caused it, he did so inadvertently.
Right, okay. So this blast happened between us and the gray, right?
Yeah.
So what's to our right and left? Just like more buildings?
Yeah, more buildings. These ones more complete. And you can see kind of on either side of this alley are two of those catwalks up above. You see the one that's closer to the rift, a second pair of silhouettes with one of these large tins, whatever it is, has tossed something out onto the rift, and now you can barely see that orange glow. Seems like have something for this that they've covered it over.
Huh. Interesting.
Shuriku calls up the people in the balcony. Is everything alright?
See a few heads turn towards you, but they don't respond. They seem to finish up with whatever this task is, and they start to file back towards the buildings or further along the catwalks. You can see that most of them seem to be moving to a point somewhat to the east of where you are now, before disappearing into the ashen swirls.
Part of me thinks those were observers. I don't really have much to go on, just... I don't know, something felt off about them.
Well, we don't know shit, so honestly, paranoia seems to be the most prudent policy at the moment, Dreamer.
It
Maybe-
might have been observers, or perhaps they were just the fire department.
Or maybe it could have been that one guy who was trying to salvage their scrap in the ash, and then he just got a stroke of really shitty luck.
Speaking of him, he appears to be incapacitated.
Yeah, no shit, I can see that.
Poor soul. I was looking at him and it looked like it didn't look like he did that on purpose. I think he might have tripped something up by accident.
Maybe we should
Anyway,
investigate that.
Yeah, let's get out of here before the ground fucking explodes again.
Well, it looks like they did something to it. They covered it over.
If I were to look over the ground, can I get... I don't know what I would even roll for this, but just does it look like it's gonna explode again?
So you're going to approach the that rift that opened up and try to examine it?
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd probably say 5 feet away from it, but yeah. Or do you think I really have to...
Roll an investigation check.
Investigation. Damn.
As you walk up towards it, it's difficult. It seems like you have to kind of clear some of the ash away. And again, your movement's very impeded because you're practically wading through it. As you step closer, you can see these chunks of darkened rock. It looks sort of volcanic, but it sort of looks like charcoal. Which is the moment when you feel the ground start to give beneath your feet. Make a dexterity saving throw for me, Musoka.
Ah! Fuck!
Oh, that's a strength save.
Yeah, dexterity save.
Oh, I'm sorry.
All
Gotta
right.
feel, but-
So, as you feel sudden this searing pain in your foot, you manage to pull it away as the ground starts to break beneath you, and you see another rift open up as you toss yourself back. Luckily, you had quick reflexes, but with this opening right under you, you still take um, uh, 18 points of fire damage.
What did I say? Get
Ah!
out of here before the ground explodes again! Screw it, we're moving!
Okay, I'm
Jin
right
kind
behind
of
you.
beats Slade to, move.
Ow. Okay, go, go,
It
go, go.
seems what they did to it was not a very permanent solution.
Maybe it has to dry.
Yeah, no
Let's-
shit!
Ah.
But in any case, no deliberating on it. We're fucking moving.
Yeah, I'd say we would go maybe to the right and like we would do the same as we did from the last guy, like just take the long path, like wade around that specific area.
Yeah, avoiding this particular alley that seems to have some kind of a volcanic sinkhole underneath it.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
God.
And
We're like so close to civilization, there's still so many dangers. Ugh.
Yeah, this part of the city, it's still sparsely populated. Though as you begin to trek deeper and deeper in, as the facades of these buildings become more solid, complete, you do start to make out something more like a grid of these makeshift catwalks that venture over the streets. Maybe not exactly a grid because they do seem very haphazard. None of them seem like they're professionally constructed. But you also see more people kind of shuffling along them, most of them having some manner of more ornate gas masks. Some of them, those almost elephant like ones that you saw Sanjo and his family had, some of them that seem to have these double breathers at either side. Some of them that seem to be contraptions with kind of a bunch of separate parts, coverings on the earmuffs and goggles, and some kind of a nose mouth thing. There's not a single design to it. But you also start to notice more and more grays shuffling through the streets. Some of them look sort of just like people in kind of hooded cloaks, and the glances of your faces you catch don't look like they're decayed, don't look like they've turned to anything else. But more of them are these almost quasi-bestial, slightly monstrous creatures. Are you guys still working to try to avoid crossing paths with any of them?
Sure, but also I think I'd like to keep my eye out on a way to get up to these bridges, because part of me thinks like the Greys walk down here and like people, like other people tend to walk like on these catwalks. That's what I'm thinking.
Sure. Anyone who wants to can make a perception or an investigation check.
Investigation. Nice.
So, Musoka, you kind of keeping your eye out, maybe not worrying quite so much about Peyton and Shiruku now, you do spot a kind of make out from the movement of the people on these catwalks that many of them seem to be coming from a particular direction and kind of following that and sidestepping. And it is slow progress with all of the ash and with avoiding these grays. So you finally see more of an open area between these buildings and this large metal stairway leading down to the street, its bottom buried, lost in the ash. This stairway looks much more professional, much more of actual cast metal, not just made out of scrap. And at this point, it seems like you're deep enough into the city and there are enough of these multi-story buildings that you realize that the ash has gotten a little bit thinner, that you're not, while you're still wading through it where it's accumulated on street level, you don't feel like you're swimming in it. Looking at these stairs, you can see a number of hooded figures, kind of arms crossed, sitting or standing on it, and one person up on the upper level, about 8 meters above street level, where this stair goes to, that looks to be sat behind an odd sort of what looks like a miniature cannon on some kind of a swiveling base.
So these stairs are being guarded, essentially.
Looks like it.
Are they
Of
there?
course, it's never that easy.
Are they there to keep people like us out, or to keep something else out?
I don't know. But you did say that the ground is like the ash is much less dense down here, right? Like on the ground.
There's still plenty of ash on the ground, but there's not as much ash in the air.
Oh, in the air.
You know, you
Interesting.
have more visibility here.
Give me a moment. I might see if I can. Actually, I won't do that.
You're still reacting pretty badly to that dust, huh?
Yes. I am not feeling it myself.
I know you're talking about though. I feel like our best bet is to get up there, but at the same time, So these people who are walking, do they all look pretty like high class, or could I catch a few people who like seem to have like lame cheap masks that are not as impressive?
Yeah. I don't know. None of them really look high class. Everyone here looks like they're sort of in the tattered clothing that they've been wearing for the past 3 years. You know, no one looks good. But I will say that maybe a couple of the people on the stair look slightly more well fed than the average person you've seen, or the average silhouette you've spotted shuffling along the walkways.
Right. I say we try to ask if we can go up, but what's our excuse for being on the ground in the first place?
Good point. Well, we can always say. Well, the truth, we were coming up from the north. Although that not many people live that way nowadays.
Right. I forget. It's not illegal to live up north, right?
No, I think it's just particularly hostile, so people don't do it.
I'd say that's a good excuse. We could say we live up north and we're coming in for supplies.
Well, maybe the opposite. Maybe we were delivering supplies to the north and we're coming back.
Right.
That seems more likely.
That actually makes sense. Okay. Let's go with that then.
Yes, we're delivering to the few people who still live up there, and coming
Of course,
back.
though, we can't give away their location. I mean, that's obvious. I just thought I'd
Right.
remind everyone. All right then. I think we will approach.
So, as you approach, you see one of these figures stand and descend halfway down the stairs. A skinny guy. He has these large, dark goggles and what looks like a glass triangle just over his nose and mouth, with a small tube leading out and disappearing into his clothes. Has a shock of this sort of stiff, matted, maybe orangish or auburn hair. And another one of these guys, this one wearing more of a full hood, and one of the two beefier looking ones, though you notice that there are no tubes extending from off of his hood. The skinny one, he says, "Hey, how have you done? You're coming up from the surf. What you been doing walking around down here with all the grays?"
She's gonna put on a bit of a raspy voice and say, We were making a delivery up north, and on the way we were attacked by smugglers and got our gas masks taken away."
Delivery up north? The feck you delivering to up north?
There are some people up there that stay away from the Ashen Pale.
I heard of them. They're crazies. They're crazies, aren't they? He's addresses the guy. Yeah, pretty crazy. Yeah, crazy people up north. So what, you
I
spend your
agree.
time with the crazy people up north, then you think you come in from the surf?
Wait, Robot, what does he mean from the surf?
Wait, I think
You're not sure.
He probably means the ground. Or the ash.
Yeah. We tried to come a particular way, but we got interrupted by a lava sinkhole.
Yeah? Well, you gotta be more careful. They gotta be more careful, don't they? Yeah, they gotta be pretty careful. Yeah, you go walking around the surf. The ground's liable to swallow you up. And if you ain't gray, you might actually feel it. Ha!
Honestly, we almost got swallowed up. Can we come up?
Well, you're going walking all around, doing a bit of a walkabout in the surf, in the north. You think you'll come back up here? Well, you leave the safety of the catwalks. I'd say that there may be a bit of a convenience charge if you're going to be coming back up this stair.
Ah, really? It's kind of like playing it up like, dang. But, she would just call up. What do you want?
That depends. You've been walking around. Maybe you have some good things. What can you offer us, eh? You think they have good things? Yeah, look, they got pretty good things.
I think we have something pretty nice, and then Bijutsu pulls out one of the bunches of bananas.
We got these off of those smugglers.
Smugglers? With feckin' bananas?
Yeah. I don't know how the hell they got it.
Roll a deception check.
Oh, I'm not the best with this.
It's not a super high DC. Oh, but it's a higher DC than that.
Can I add 3 to that with a site?
If you want to.
I think
Nah.
that'll help. If it's not a high DC.
You know what? Go for another 3 for an 11 to break the 10, just to be safe.
Oh, you think it's a 10? Alright, yeah.
So you're using 2 foresight to add 6 to that?
Yish.
All right. Kind of leans forward and don't know what the fact these smugglers doing up north. You'd think they'd have all washed out by now. But, well, I guess their losses are gain. You got, any more of these? I'd say this is enough for a couple of you to come up. Say we need one more if you want to bring your fancy bike up on the catwalks too.
How many bananas do we have?
A lot?
You said you each had 2 bunches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we added to our rations.
Well, I'm keeping track of the bunches separately. Because apparently banana is worth its weight in gold around here.
Oh, yeah.
I guess
How
the
does-
yellow gold. Oh yeah, gold is yellow, isn't it?
How does 3 bunches sound, huh?
What do you think, big man? Yeah, sounds okay to me. Yeah, we take it. We take it, and you, remember, come this way again if you think you're gonna be having another grand old time back down in the surf, huh?
Oh, we will. And who knows, maybe we'll come across more smugglers and they'll drop more bananas. Strange, isn't it?
So, you hand over 3 bunches. So I'm assuming 3 of you mark off your bunches. Or I don't know, maybe Jin marks off 2 of his and one of you marks off 1 of yours because Jin doesn't
I
actually need
marked
to
off
eat.
one of mine.
All right.
Okay, cool.
And you all extend up these stairs. These figures look at you. You catch a glimpse of one of these other big guys. And you see under his hood he's not actually wearing a mask. And his face looks fleshy. He looks fine. But you notice there's a bit of a gray tint to his skin. And he says, "Yeah, what are you looking at? Keep walking."
Eyes forward.
You pass this man in one of these elephantine masks, manning the cannon, and eventually onto the catwalks as you extend and you to where you see it disappears into another one of these buildings. And you can see now as you enter here, you're kind of at one of the higher points in this. And even though you don't have amazing visibility, there's still a little bit of ash in the air. You can see these catwalks kind of zigzag, snake away from here in all directions. This seems to be a little bit of a, maybe not exactly a nexus point, but multiple of these paths converge here. And as you continue walking along here, you quickly get the sense that these people who are masked, that they don't go down onto the ground. You get the sense that all of them kind of navigate from building to building thoroughly within these. A few of them you see have stairs going down, but they extend to ground floors that are completely boarded off from the ground level around them.
Interesting.
Well, this shithole's our oyster, so what do we do now?
One question. Is Jin Roy still a bike after climbing the stairs?
I'm assuming he's the kind of fancy bike that can drive up the stairs. I guess it's up to him if he wants to stop being a bike.
I mean, technically, we never really ruled out how long it stays, did we?
I mean, with this spell, it's indefinite. I'll say Jin and Peyton, you can do this too, since you've been riding on him. You can make insight checks if you wish.
I mean, I guess I'll stay a bike until, convenient.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Peyton, this kind of occurred to you when you and Jin made that quick dash out to the barn to catch those bananas, that you've spotted by the side of the road or leaned up against these ruined buildings a couple of husks of what seem to be strange self-propelled vehicles, sort of in the same vein as that one that the cook had, but of wildly varying designs. You get the sense that a crazy bike is not something that's going to raise eyebrows here, but a golem might.
Right.
I think you are better to... Wait, are we alone?
Sure, you make some distance, find a little alcove off to the side.
Yeah, I'm not sure how... Are we sort of leading him along like a kid with a bike?
That's up to you.
That would probably make the most sense. Probably wouldn't want people to see it driving by itself.
Yeah. In
Yeah,
that case,
so we're walking with this bike. Peyton is like, I think it would be better for this automaton to remain a vehicle.
do you have a reason for that?
Well, I've seen around here some fairly strange
Bikes?
junk, and I don't think this bike really stands out, but
Oh, the cook did have a bike. Okay. You make a good point. We should definitely keep him as a motorcycle.
Mm.
Don't know if he buys
Yeah.
Jin Roy.
I suppose we haven't seen any other golems around, but we have seen strange transportation vehicles.
Perfect. Then he gets to stay as a bike.
Could have him drive himself, and when people ask a question, you point at the Western Wizard and say, Western Wizard.
Well, we can't let people know we're outsiders.
Well,
how did you get her?
Wizard.
A wizard did it.
Wizard did it.
A wizard did it. There you go.
No, I think you should definitely be walking with it, at least walk and hold the like bars. You know what I mean? Like
I-
if people, yeah.
I don't think Peyton being a wizard from the West is a big secret here. Just saying.
Well, we got all those. We
Kinda.
got those
Yeah.
clothes from the family.
Yeah,
Oh
we're
yeah, we
decked out.
did.
Yeah, you guys don't look like a bunch of soldiers and a wizard right now.
Oh.
You've all got masks. You're all wearing the ratty old clothes.
Yeah, if we looked like a bunch of soldiers and a wizard, I think we'd be having more eyes on us.
Yeah, that's true. Well, Fukuro never looks like a soldier, but anyway. Neither does Shiruku. Anyway.
True.
Anyway, that's like Shuruku's job though. Did not look like a soldier. But yeah. So interesting. So if I look around, what kind of buildings are around? Are there any obvious shops? Like down.
There's not really in this part of the city as you are moving through these walkways. It seems like it's mostly kind of leaning towers and broken old buildings that with kind of the center level all facilitating foot traffic, and the lower levels either being kind of makeshift homes or the upper levels offering some sorts of services. You might come across one or two people selling things, but you get the sense that if there is like a commercial district, this isn't it.
Right. Okay. In that case, I guess we should start moving or schmoving.
Do we see?
Yep.
Well, do we see anyone who looks like they could be an observer? I mean, we don't know what they look like. We don't know even if the people we passed on the stairs were them. Does anyone look more official than anyone else?
In this part of the city, you don't really see anything like that, obviously. I'll say since Musako was looking for shops, you maybe try to talk to a couple of people. And most folks here just sort of ignore you, eyes cast downward, shuffle past you. And some of them are carrying like bundles on their backs, some with these bags of these oversized apples, some with hunks of charcoaly wood, various supplies that they've got. But you eventually manage to learn that there are a couple places in town that may have more business to them. One of them is let me go ahead and go over to the map. So, the region called Azuma, it's sort of the whole eastern half of the city. And it seems like that's maybe where the largest share of residences are, and what passes for a marketplace. However, you also hear rumors about it having a lot of gangs, having a lot of, sort of organized crime warfare. You also hear of a place that's only known as the Walled City. This is supposedly right smack dab in the center of the Ashen Pale. Not really a district so much as it is one mega block. What would be 10 city blocks in another place is one huge towering structure. And it seems like this is you can buy and sell anything in there, from what you hear from these snatches of dialogue that you're able to elicit. But seems like when it is mentioned, it's mentioned with a sense of trepidation.
So it's a little sketchy.
You gather.
When they say you
Both
can
of them
buy
sound
anything,
pretty-
are they referring to smugglers? Is that the kind of vibe?
I don't think you'd be certain.
Fair enough.
Well, it does sound like a place where,
Oh, Wait, I might be able to help with that actually once we see the place because that.
Oh,
Nice.
hey.
Sounds like a good place. We can also maybe get the drop on any shady shit that's happening.
Well, if if our adversary, maybe we shouldn't mention his name. If our adversary is coming to the island from the south, the people who are not going to know about it are the smugglers. They are.
What do you-
They're the ones who are regularly going on and off the island. More regularly than anyone else, at least.
Are you saying that they should know?
I'm saying that if anyone's seen something, it's probably them.
Right.
I heard
Might be a good
something.
place to
I
go.
like your thinking, Silver Tongue.
Yeah. It's also good to get inside so your tongue doesn't get any more silver. Get it,
Yes.
Kazash? Haha.
I'm going to need to use the bike later, maybe. Tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, in that case, I guess we would make our way towards the middle of the city.
So you continue to make your way towards the middle of the city and just navigating this sea of causeways, of makeshift bridges. You're already slowed down on the street level, wading through all that ash. But if anything, you're moving slower now. By the time that the city has started to change its character, you think you're getting closer to the center, and you can faintly hear the distant sound of what you put together is the train, is the shoreliner. It's gotten quite late. It's gotten, you've blown past afternoon into kind of the first half of the evening. And here the buildings, they look a little bit more well constructed. Before, it seemed like there were a lot of residential homes with kind of makeshift additions. Here you can see that there are more what may have been once tenement buildings, some that may have even been some kind of a civic building, something that looks more like a real city that's kind of been burnt out and repurposed with all of these walkways.
I don't suppose the accommodation industry is doing very well here. I wonder how difficult it would be to find somewhere to stay the night. Well, anywhere safe, really.
There must be inns. Do you think?
Why do you need an inn if no one is coming?
Good point.
Yeah, I wouldn't count on there being any ready-built motels around this dump.
We'll keep our eye out, but for now, I guess we'll worry about that later, huh?
We'll say it is getting close to the time when you would be thinking about turning in.
Oh, really? Okay. Damn. You know, if we go to, like, did you say that we're getting close to the walled city?
Are you heading for the walled city?
Are we? I thought we were, but
yeah.
the thing is, like, that might be a good place to, like, find where we can stay a place for the night, you know?
Okay, all right.
Yeah. Unless, like, while we're walking, we can keep our eye out for anything that catches our eye.
So, go ahead and roll an investigation check.
You like investigation checks? Oh,
Oh,
natural 20.
dang. So, as you are making your way through these, you actually find that one of these buildings, and with these walkways set up between these larger buildings, you can see that there are actually kind of these regularly these walls set up within them. It looks like kind of these second, third stories that the walkways are set up between have kind of been all cleared out, all of the internal walls knocked down, and instead these kind of like driftwood and corrugated metal and makeshift walls have been set up on the sides of these walkways as they extend through the buildings, and that there are kind of like these neighborhoods within these large cities that are walled up from the walkways. And it is in one of these that you spot what must have been an original bridge, an actual constructed stone bridge. And on the other side of it, some orange lights from paper lanterns in what looks almost like a little counter setup. And it's not much. It would not catch your eye anywhere else. It would look like the dingiest of the dives anywhere else. But here it's a surprisingly warm, welcome sight. As you approach across this stone bridge that seems to have been built over what must have been like the major downtown thoroughfare in the city, you can see that there is looks like an old woman. Well, you can't really tell how old she is, but she looks kind of small and bent in this dingy kimono with almost like an almost bird-like hood covering her head. I think, Fukuro, you notice off in the distance what looks like several blocks down a green tree, mostly obscured by other buildings, but you can see the top of it.
Fukuro kind of, I guess, taps, Shiruku on the shoulder, points over in that direction. Shiruku, look, it's a tree, a living tree.
Shiruku looks, but he's too ill to see it probably. I can't see it, I'm afraid. My eyes are too watering.
Oh, sorry about that. But yes, there's a living tree here. Very interesting.
Well, maybe it's a fake tree.
Did it look like a fake tree?
You saw it sway a little bit in the wind. Didn't look fake. It looked kind of limber the way a real tree was. And again, it's in the distance, mostly obscured by buildings. You can't be completely certain.
Well, if it's a fake, it's a very good fake.
Well, when we get closer, we'll have a better look. What about this woman here?
Yeah, Musoka, you're the first one to approach this counter. It looks like part of it is partitioned away over what would have been the opening into this building. You hear the creaky voice come out of the woman. Hello?
Hello. We're looking for a few rooms for the night.
Looking for rooms. And here, I thought you came for the tea.
Do you have tea?
You see, she's actually got this, some kind of this enclosed, almost looks like a pneumatic teapot, and has a series of, there are like metal sippy cups, but that they're totally enclosed, and she says, yes, I have a little bit of that. I throw in some of the shimmer kelp that washes up. I know it never used to act like this before, but some people swear by it.
I mean, it's an opportunity. Vijitsu just shrugs.
If I look at the tea, does it look like rancid?
Well, you can't actually see the tea.
That's right.
The teapot that's currently on a little flame and all of the cups are totally enclosed. You get the sense she won't actually pour it unless you're ordering some.
Oh, so she wasn't joking about the tea. But yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, I think Misaka would just first say, well, you definitely have rooms, correct?
Indeed, I do. Do most of my business with. She kind of seems to give a long appraising glance over all of you. With smugglers. So I trade in chimes. I'm not on the bar system.
Oh,
Y'all
that
still
won't be a
have
problem,
chimes?
ma'am.
It's actually
Mm.
That
perfect.
won't be a problem, ma'am. She kind of flips a chime repeatedly before sort of catching it in her hand.
Roll dexterity to make sure you don't drop it.
You want to stay here? 20 chimes a room per night.
Considering our options, that doesn't sound too bad.
Yes. And
Sounds like
what,
a plan.
what is the tea flavored? Not sure its voice. What the hell? What is the tea flavored? Is it medicinal or something like that?
Oh, I've heard some people say it's a good medicine.
Is it?
Can I roll insight on that?
Sure.
Go ahead. It's drugs.
Sounds like-
It's drugs.
Yeah. You think that this is some kind of narcotic.
Oh, I see.
Oh, I see. Well,
What did she say she put in the tea? What was it?
Shimmer kelp.
Yeah, the shimmer kelp that washes up.
Have we heard of that before?
Anyone who wants to can roll a nature check.
I make potions once in a while.
So
I'm not.
Musoka, as a creature who's delved the sea, who knows a lot about local flora, there is a type of wakame seaweed that sometimes called shimmer kelp, mainly because it sometimes grows this water-resistant fungus that can make it almost look like it glitters, but that's supposed to make it toxic. It's not good to eat. You can only imagine what it would be like if it's still growing here in this environment, because it does need a fair bit of sunlight shining down. You know, it grows in shallow waters. So, yeah, you're thinking it would be toxic at the best of times. If it's growing here, there must be something else going on with it.
Right. I think she would just kind of squint at the tea and look back at the lady and just say, well, about those rooms. How many per room would you say? Like how many people
If
can
you
fit in one?
you don't care much about comfort, probably fit all of you into 2 rooms.
Yeah, and is there a place we can put our bike?
Oh, you can just leave that anywhere. Of course, we don't take responsibility for lost items.
Maybe we'll take that in our room.
How about we have 3 rooms and we take the bike in with us?
That's fine. That's fine.
it sounds like a plan. All right. Then, how about us girls and Jinroy take one room, and then you three take the other.
Sounds like a plan.
And are there... Actually, I don't know if I'll be able to tell this, but are there other patrons coming in and out? Well, I guess probably can't. We've only been here 5 minutes, so probably can't tell that. But
Yeah. Well, she kind of opens up the little swinging part of the counter into this place. And as you enter, you can see that there are these like plasterwork hallways. And it looks like it was already a hotel. And it looks old. It looks probably just from the style of this, over 100 years old, maybe dating back to a time when Hunter was actually open. You're not sure. Must have been once a very stately place. And even though it's in heavy disrepair, these walls of bits of them have crumbled. With these orange lanterns lit here and there, it's oddly sort of the cheeriest spot you've been in. She leads you to these two doors opposite each other at the end of a hall. And while it looks like a lot of these rooms are not just empty, but sort of look uninhabitable, you do hear the occasional sound of other people in these places.
Right. Okay. In that case, you know what? Just to be polite, I think Musoka would say, so how much for a tea?
You want a tea?
Yes.
You want a whole pot, or you just want a taste?
I'd probably just drink it in my room.
Just a little sample taste, then.
Sure.
Why, honey, I could give that to you for one chime.
Oh, perfect. Here you go. And yeah, she would hand over a chime.
She heads over to the front, returns a minute later with one of these little metal sippy cups.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm gonna go to my room and get settled. But yeah, you've been very kind to us. Thank you very much.
So, you guys get settled in. It's the room it's kind of bare, and there aren't a lot of amenities. There's not a ton of furniture in here. There's more like some futons piled up in the closet. It's not very clean, but it's better than you would have hoped for when you first entered this city. It's definitely the kind of place that you'd only get with rolling a natural 20.
Hey. Also, is there a potted plant in my room? Like some kind of a potted dead thing?
Sure, we'll say there's an old terracotta pot in the corner with some gray stick that's been dead for the past 2 years.
Yeah, I pour my tea in there. Not drinking that shit. I just wanted to be polite.
Ah, all right.
you wake up in the morning and there's a drugged zombie plant.
Oh god.
Don't give him ideas.
Yeah, I talk when I see Bujutsu and Jinroy, I just say,
I mean, this is a problem for you, Jinroy, but do not drink that tea.
Shimmer kelp is
Incredibly toxic, and it's probably not so bad here, but well, I wouldn't take my chances.
Yeah, people here are crazy. I get it.
and yeah, I just kinda So what time is it now?
It's evening now.
Evening, okay. Yes, with my natural 20 I settle into my nice bed. Ooh woo.
I think I don't know what everyone else is doing, but Shuruku might walk outside again, Just
Okay.
a little bit.
And actually, with the past few hours of navigating the city, of trying to wend your way through, I think everyone would have exerted themselves a little bit. So let's have one more round of Constitution saves.
No.
Doo doo.
No.
Oh wait, is it still a?
13?
Oh, it doesn't matter if it's at advantage or not.
Yes, Peyton, that is a fail for you. So, Peyton, you feel some scratchiness in your throat as you settle up in your room. So, yeah, you are at one fail. So, that puts you at a disadvantage on dexterity and strength checks.
I'm getting the water bowl ready.
Oh no.
Are you sure you want to try that again?
I think it's worth a try. I just think something wrong happened last time. And I think we should save Jinroy's protocol.
Mm.
Peyton just breathed weird.
I don't think there's any protocol left, is there?
And not for today.
Not
There
for
will be
Yep,
tomorrow.
not for today. There will be for tomorrow morning, though.
Which is why I.
Maybe hold off on that one.
Don't you want to try?
Well, I just think, well, to be sure if it's going to be successful, you need a control. I can't be the subject twice.
She kind of like her shoulders slouch and just. She looks at Shiruku and just asks,
You want to be the control?
I mean, I just said Shruku's walking outside, so.
Alright. Fine. But I think it's gonna work this time. I made a few tweaks.
she says as she's like leaving the boys' room.
So, oh, go ahead.
I think Fukuro's gonna. Well, what is Shiruku doing?
All right, we'll cut back to Shiruku, and then we'll get back to that. So, Shiruku, you have stepped out onto, I don't know, maybe it's the back walkway, somewhere just outside of this place, where you can see sort of the tilted spires of this city, can see that ash laying heavy in the air, hear the occasional shuffling, but not many voices of people going here and there, here in what was once the downtown of the city.
Okay. So it's not terribly busy, would you say?
I mean, there are definitely people around, but there's at no point is it ever really like a hustling, bustling sort of place.
Are there any indications that there is more of a hustle in some direction, as in a larger, more populated area? I don't know how we would tell that. Actually, never mind. Is there more voices coming from a certain direction or something?
Sure, roll perception with disadvantage. It's hard to say. You know, blinking back the tears in your eyes. It doesn't seem like there's anything, but you can't be sure.
Okay, well, let's see. Oh, I'm just gonna go with my plan here then. So, for the people who are walking past, I want to spend all my spell slots casting Detect Thoughts. So that's a total of 9 minutes. A potential 90 people, but I don't think it's crowded enough to get that. I'm just going to scan the surface thoughts of as many people as possible.
Wow.
Nice.
I don't know.
Okay.
It's the end of
All
it's the
right.
end of the day. I'm going to get my spell slots back soon. I'm going to use them all, and I'm going to just fish an entire population for information. Nine castings, each lasting 1 minute. 10 people per cast if there's that many walking by. I don't know the math. And I'm just looking for, well, mentions of strange people coming to the island recently, or the name Changok even, or mentions of Vanguard, or that sort of names and images, things that like that.
All right. All right. This is very interesting. So you are just looking at these walkways, trying to scan them.
Yeah, I'm just doing the surface ones, so they don't get to be aware of it, and it's just what they're thinking of.
You probably have to actually, wander a little bit to hit more people since it's a range of only 30 feet. Go ahead and just to see how well this works out, make a charisma check. You don't have to do this with disadvantage since this is kind of an unusual roll. Just,
Okay.
Make a charisma check.
Oh, luck be a lady tonight. Decent.
Yeah, not bad. So,
I don't know why it's a d20 plus 5 plus 2.
Because you get a plus Jack of... Wait. No, you shouldn't get that, should you?
I know.
Oh, I think, Jack of Trades, because any skill check that does not involve a proficiency bonus.
Oh, awesome.
So
If Roll20 says I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Guess so.
All right. So most of these surface thoughts that you pick up, they are definitely much more mundane. People concerned about their own affairs, concerned about how they're going to get food, concerned about paying off the various sort of thieves and gangs and warlords who have set up shop here. You hear a few references in your head to the Masters and the Lord's Acre, that this is kind of the southernmost part of town, bordering the Ring Grove. You get the sense that there are kind of a lot of warlords centered over there who've established a monopoly on what food does grow here. That's on a lot of people's minds. Another thing that's on a lot of people's minds are just sort of evading the various gangs. It seems like you hear especially about a place called the Exchange in Azuma. As you pick that up, you pick up that this is kind of the largest still active marketplace on the island, but that it's also kind of an open war zone. Right now, I'm just giving you more general thoughts to read before getting back into what you're looking for.
I like everything.
You hear a few people, less than the other ones, with thoughts about the Dracker Green. And the Dracker Green you pick up is an area rather nearby, is sort of you get the sense it's sort of a civic center. And a few of these people seem like they're excited because there's going to be another hanging soon. That there are regular hangings here, and it's kind of one of the few public spectacles that people get to see. And when they have these thoughts, they're also often paired with thoughts of the observers. But trying to delve in deeper, anything about Horanu, about Chengok, about outsiders. Hold on one second.
And she mentioned smugglers visited her hotel, so that I'm hoping that will be useful.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'm not the DM. I shouldn't comment. Never mind.
Sorry. I had to run and close a window real quick. Anyways, for a couple of places, you hear thoughts about a smuggling outfit called the Fortune's Horde. That while the others are receding, they're becoming more active now. And you hear a few in your head rumors about them working with establishing ties to other people off the island. Rumors of them kind of extending beyond the network of powder and flintlock movers that the old smuggling outfits did. Like they've got other ambitions. You also hear pick up thoughts about some things called the Grey Ji Changs. And the Grey Ji Changs you pick up are sort of a state-sponsored piracy outfit, but that they have been more active. But they have even rumors of them raiding ships and taking slaves from the crews, as well as raiding their holds and bringing staple goods back to the Phantom Courts. So I think, yeah, these are the things you pick up just scanning the minds of these people.
Right. Oh, that's a bit a smorgasbord of different things. And, well, once Suruku has finished that, he goes back inside. Somewhat exhausted, I imagine, from doing that. I don't know what it feels like to spend 9 spell slots at once, but I'm sure it's not an easy thing to do.
Shiruku, my favorite team member. Would you
What?
like to test something out for me?
I don't know.
Well, remember my water breathing method? You seem to be having some lung issues right now.
Yes, I am. It's quite
So-
annoying.
I know. Which is why I want to try water warding you.
It didn't go terribly last time.
Well, yes, but I made a minor miscalculation. That was my bad. But this time, I'm sure it's perfect. Well, Peyton won't let me do it again.
I suppose not allowing you to try it at least twice would be a mistake. Because if it does work the second time, then it will be a very useful thing to have around.
That's what I'm saying.
But if I drown, I'm going to sue you.
You won't drown. You won't drown. I'm casting water breathing on you.
I guess that's Shuki says that a bit jokingly. That's not. You
Yeah, I
wouldn't
know.
be
She's
serious.
kind of like, it's kind of like how me IRL. I'll be like, what the heck? She's like, no.
Fine. Just what? So you're going to put water in me and attempt to.
Here. Come over here, sit down, and when I cast water breathing on you, just breathe into this bowl.
All right.
And I kind of hand him the bowl, and then boop. Good try.
So, yeah, Shiroku, as you kind of hold this bowl up to your mouth and breathe through into it, well, through the spell, it does indeed feel a little bit cleaner, a little bit easier to breathe through.
Shuriku is just thinking of what happened to Peyton last time. He's wondering what Musika's going to do next, I guess. Or what her plans are to do
Her
go differently
plan?
this time?
She will use control water to kind of like make the water like circulate a little better. Like she's gonna try to make it it's almost like a little whirlpool, you know what I mean? Whereas before it was just like stagnant water, and you when you breathe in again, you would like breathe in those particles that you just breathed out. But this time I'm hoping they'll like distill it a little bit.
All right, Mosoka. You're trying to. So you're using the control water cantrip to try to sort of do an internal cleanse.
Basically.
All right, make an intelligence check.
Ooh. Check.
Yes.
Yeah, not natural one like last time.
Yeah, not a natural one, but this is not a very conventional use of this spell. This is something that requires a good control of biology and of sort of the thermal dynamics of it, fluid dynamics rather. And as you are doing this, trying to create this swirling sort of assembly line of water through Shiruku's system, Shiruku, you feel, even though you can breathe through it, you get this horrible sensation of choking as too much water is kind of pouring simultaneously in and being pulled out of your throat. And it's essentially you are being waterboarded. You, even though you can breathe, it's this sensation of choking that's horrible.
He can't say anything, but he's just like.
Is he just taking it? Or does he say something?
He can't say anything. His mouth's full of water.
Oh, does he
Spit
look
it
like
out.
he's struggling?
Is
Yeah.
bulging, or is he trying to be stoic about it?
He's trying to be more stoic than Peyton, but he's looking uncomfortable, definitely. Like, he's trying to keep still, but he's a bit squirming, and his face is just like, ugh.
Am I doing this right? Hold on. 2 more minutes. Just keep holding it.
I think at this point Shiruku blinks and you just see one fat tear roll down the side as he's trying to take this as well as he can.
And eventually, I would like take it away from him and just take off the water breathing. So, how do you feel?
So I imagine he feels the same, if not worse than before. Is that right?
Pretty much.
I think you have a great career in medicine ahead of you. You need to get some practice. I have higher hopes for you.
So you're saying you feel better?
Yeah, it needs more work.
Oh, you don't feel better? Damn it! How is this not working? Maybe I have to go counterclockwise with the whirlpool. Who knows? Okay, well, thanks anyways.
Perhaps if you added some medicine to the mix.
Wait, you might be onto something. Okay. I'll do that. Also, you were out for a while. Did you do anything?
Oh yes, I went a little fishing, shall we say, in the minds of others.
Oh. Did you find anything else out?
There were a few things. Let's see. Run, correct me if I'm remembering anything wrong, because my memory is.
I mean, if you want to, you can just say that you tell her everything.
I tell her about the market, about the fortune smuggling gang who is in ascendancy, I guess is the word. About the lords down south. About the hanging coming up.
Hanging. Ugh. How about, those gray Ji Chengs sound kind of interesting. They might know something about Chengok if they're really deep with piracy. What if they ran into? I could see them running into his ship.
I forget. Has anyone in this party seen one of the ghost ships that we've been seeing all this campaign?
I mean, Peyton did.
Because we have been seeing mysterious ships on the horizon all campaign that look kind of creepy.
Hmm.
But I don't
Well-
know.
They were
I don't think the pirates are actually on the island. I think they're pirating. Well, maybe
Well-
some of them are on the island, but
I imagine they're around the island, right? Assuming Chengok approaches, do you think maybe? I mean, obviously Chengok would be able to take on any pirate ship, but that's something to keep in the back of our minds, I suppose.
yes. Although this smuggling club with connections to the outside is also a very tempting target.
I know my head.
When you said the Draka building was a civic building, and then you mentioned the observers, did Shirky get the feeling that it was a center for observers, like a police station almost, or something along those lines, or
That seems possible, yeah.
okay?
I think while they're all busy torturing Shiruku, I think Fukuro's going to kind of take a page out of Shiruku's book, and he's also going to go looking around the town, city, whatever you call this place, I guess.
Oh,
But instead of reading people's minds, he gonna use his object detection engine, and I think he's gonna be
Ooh.
looking for what would be the most telltale sign of Changok? His sword, maybe?
Yeah, you've seen that sword a few times now. You've got a good mental image of it. You fix it, you program your engine to detect that, and you go wandering through the town. Go ahead and make either a perception or an investigation check just to see how well your little walkabout goes. So,
Oh,
you go walking down these walkways up and down for the next 10 minutes and never getting anything like a ping. You feel 100% confident that that sword is nowhere near this part of the city. But as you continue walking, you do see a couple of things that catch your eye. Maybe it's subconscious, but you find yourself drawn towards that area where you saw that tree. And as you continue wandering through down those walkways, you actually catch sight of that. You can see that there are these 4 clusters of trees all along the sides of this essentially a raised city block, this entire block that does not have any buildings, but indeed is on this sort of almost a raised platform or like a hill, but a hill that looks like it's made of stone with these wide steps carved down to street level, disappearing into the ash on all 4 sides. And yeah, getting this close look at it, these trees, just this shock of green. While you know intellectually they're not actually that great, they still don't look super healthy, and the branches look a little thin. Against the gray of the city, it looks downright day glow. And you can see there are little bits of sort of thorny bushes also living around the edges and walkways around this. You see there's another raised platform in the center with this elaborate gallows. And what seem to be almost like stone pews, or maybe it's kind of like bleachers. And you can also see down at street level a couple of portcullis arches leading into something that is below that this stone platform hill, whatever it is, seems to have something underneath it. Uh, as you look, you see that there are actually a couple of masked people just sitting around there. But you also see something else. This figure wearing a very different sort of mask. This stoic, feminine expression in dark slate with these chunky horns extending off to either side. Only see them for a second before they disappear down a set of stairs opposite the other side. As you are walking back to the place where you're staying, you also notice something else in the distance. This hulking structure seems like it's twice the height of any other buildings, and it looks makeshift. It looks like about the upper 2/3 of it was just repurposed with bits of corrugated tin and driftwood and old rubble, more piled up than constructed. And the way that it is this solid thing, this solid monolith, you put together, that must be the walled city.
How far is this from us? Where we are staying, I guess?
Looks like maybe around 6 blocks away.
Would he have time to go check it out and use his watcher's eye to see if it's a criminal place or not?
Yeah, you may be getting back a little bit late, but you can try to do that if you wish.
Yeah, sure. So I guess I'll use my watcher's eye feature. I'll pull it up again to see if Fukuro can figure out if this place is dealing in illegal goods.
So, as you approach, going from causeway to causeway, towards this huge monolithic structure, what you're surprised by is that there seems to be only a single bridge from the surrounding neighborhoods into it, disappearing into the walled city. You see that there are all kinds of folks kind of milling around. Instead of just going into one doorway, it seems like it extends onto kind of a platform, patio deck kind of a thing. You ask around, I think without going into the walled city itself, and it seems like this is indeed kind of a criminal den. That there are smugglers in there, yes, but there are drugs, there are prostitutes, there are fences, there are, you even as you try to talk to these people, hear a couple of offhand references to cults. It seems like there is all kinds of unsavory activity going on in here. And yes, there are some references to being able to get things in the walled city that you cannot get anywhere else on the island. It sounds like more of a cesspit that it's hard to escape.
Fukuro promptly walks back to where they're staying, walks into the room that him.
Well, hold on. You're walking back. It's pretty late. I think I need you to make a performance check for me.
Oh, what now?
Well, to seem unassuming, either a performance or stealth. Very good. You manage to kind of stay out of the way of any of the other people walking the streets, walking the causeways at this time of night. And you can immediately tell there's a slightly more unsavory bent. You manage to stay out of the way and make your way back to the hotel.
So yeah, I guess Fukuro makes his way back slowly and stealthily. Kind of creeps into the room with Shiruku, and I guess Peyton's there too. And closes the door. I think we may want to reevaluate our idea of going to the walled city.
Oh, why is that?
You're not here. Go away.
Oh, fuck. I'm not in the boys' room.
Gender segregation, huh?
I mean, she was the one who suggested that setup, isn't she?
True.
Well, I mean, what? Sleepovers, you know?
Ah, yes, the boys get the boys while the girls get the robot. I can see this going quite well.
Oh my god. Yes, the you did it wrong. But anyway. Yes, I checked the place out, got a few eyewitness accounts of the place. It turns out that it really is a place where you can buy anything, if you know what I mean.
Anything, hey?
Oh yes, I heard a lot about all the drugs, prostitutes, and worse, somehow worse. It's likely a very dangerous place, though we will likely find what we're looking for in there. Maybe.
What do you
There's,
mean?
well, it depends what we're looking for, I guess. There are things in there that you can't find anywhere else on Hato. Or so I was told.
Well, we're not here on a shopping trip.
No, but they might have masks.
That is a good point. Though masks are the kind of thing you'd expect to be sold at more legitimate places.
Yeah, I guess, did Fukuro pass any places that just sold masks on the way? And on his walk?
I'm going to say not in this one, but I'll also feel fairly confident that, with more time to explore, you could find one in this neighborhood.
Yeah, I don't think necessary goods you have to go to the really dangerous black market for.
Yeah, they might be cheaper though. Maybe, who knows. I also do believe I found where they are going to be hanging a person. You did mention a hanging.
I did.
Yes, it's over by where I spotted that tree. They have a gallows over there, and stands for people to sit and watch. And a gate that I do believe leads down to perhaps a prison. There was also some strange lady there with horns. That was fun. Oh, but my main reason for going out was actually to use my engine to make sure I couldn't find any sign of Changok's sword, or thereby Changok. Fortunately, there is no Changok.
I suppose that is a good... Well, it's a good thing and a bad thing.
It would have been a very bad thing if I had run into him by myself.
Yes.
Hmm.
So... Maybe we should, attend this hanging? I don't know, it seemed like the big event of the week.
Perhaps so.
Yes, seems like we are in short of leads.
Well, I did hear about this, what was the full name? I remember the fortune part, but not the second word of the smugglers.
Fortune's Hoard.
There's this Fortune's Hoard smuggler group. That seems to be a very good lead. Although, of course, we don't know where they are, just that they exist. Oh, I forget, did I get when the hanging is taking place? Is it like tomorrow, or in a few days, or...
A few days. I'm
I don't-
keeping it vague for DM story flexibility purposes.
Did you get anything on who, well, not who it was, but why they're being hanged?
I don't believe I got that information.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten that. Those who were thinking about it were definitely more just excited. Oh, hey, there's a hanging. That'll be something to do. Take the kids.
Take
Yes.
the kids.
People aren't
Entertainment.
interested in why. And I'm slightly cautious of actually reading the minds of any actual observers, considering they might have mind abilities of their own. That may be a overcautious approach, but it's worthwhile, I think.
Also, may want to be careful about staying out too late. I got the feeling that once it's dark came to dark, there were a lot of different people around. I had to sneak my way back here.
Well, that is to be expected. I thought that was obvious.
Well, yes, it's obvious to me and to you, but not everybody is in our line of business, sir.
Well, don't go outside at night unless we really need to. How about that?
Yes.
They say to Peyton, who's the only other person in the room.
Fukuro knocks on the wall towards the ladies' room and yells, "Don't go outside late at night!"
I thought it was across the hall.
That too.
There's no adjoining wall.
You hear a response from Jin saying, as in, to
Wasn't
say,
planning on it.
as in to say affirmative.
Making good use of that soundboard.
Right. Well, I don't know about all you, but I just spent 10 whole minutes reading minds, and that has made me rather tired. So you can do what you want, but I need a rest.
Too.
So, as you all kind of make what comfort you can here, you know, it's less comfortable than it was in Sanjo's place, but still better than sleeping in the hold of a ship. Has anything else happened this evening?
Probably not for me.
All right.
Well,
No dreams?
Well,
I'm
what
glad
was
you
Jin going to
asked.
say?
Oh, wait. Oh, dreams. I forgot. Sorry, Jimro, you go first.
No, I was just gonna say that they have dreams, and I don't have a crazy idea for tonight.
Right. No, yes, absolutely. I'm sorry, I forgot. I would like to contact Lou II in my dream.
So, Musoka, you sort of cast dream as you drift off to sleep, trying to contact Lou II. But this time, it doesn't really take because, oh, there's already a thing here. Let me
That's good.
let me
Suddenly a
remove all
battle.
this.
Dream of us fighting a frog. Oh no!
Oh no!
Let me just use a different. What am I going to use? Gotta have a good one. Oh, let me just. I'll just delete all this stuff that's on here. So, anyways, Musoka,
Mm.
you try to contact Lou, but it doesn't take because someone else is already dream melding with you. You find yourself under an open sky, sunny, early summer, warm but not hot. Can get a bit of that salty ocean air spray as it hits up against the rocks. This shoreline feels intimately familiar and yet excitingly new all at once. You hear a voice call your name. You look behind you, and you see Yume standing on the shore.
Yume.
Muso, ka I hope you can forgive me. Is this not a good time? Only you seem to be already dreaming.
Oh, uh, well, if whatever you have to say is important, I suppose what I was going to do can wait. I was going to contact Lou II. You know of what happened to him, right?
You referenced it briefly.
Well, when Shengak attacked the manor, he came to take Lou II himself.
Oh, yes. Yes, we are aware of that.
I'm essentially making sure that he's okay, and, well, because of that, I haven't been able to dream speak to Jakku. Speaking of, is what you want to talk about him?
It is, but it covers more than that. Something more dire, more immediately important. You mentioned that Changok seeks sources of power. Can you tell me anything more of that?
Well, the source of power, we're pretty sure that the Great Dama is the one that holds it right now. And, well, he's planning on attacking Hanto.
What sort of a source is this?
It is. Let me just preface this by saying, well, I mentioned this to you earlier, but Joni told this with confidence that I would tell no one. So
We've
don't
no
say.
intention of betraying her confidence.
Okay. In that case, the sources of a this crystal, and um, can I actually recall, like, specifically, like, if the powers that the crystal gave you, like do I know of the, like, what exactly the crystal does, or is it more just it's really powerful? I can only really assume that there's, like, necromantic elements to it.
Probably the latter. This party does not know all the stuff that the party that's just trekked through for 3 knows.
Exactly. I
But
don't
I
want to
think
start.
as you start to describe this crystal, she kind of stops you, and you see her making this motion with her hands, and you see the water churning and seeming to rise up into this faceted form, which grows more solid until you see this dark crystal floating in the air, almost sludgy purple, so dark it's practically black. Is it something like this?
Yes, it. Wait a minute. How did you know that?
If you are throwing yourself into this battle, you deserve to know. When we met last in person, I told you of a blind spot for the Yingmu Luo, a blind spot that had catastrophic consequences on the islands that reflect the moon.
Right, that the story about your spy that went rogue.
Our spy was not only keeping tabs on the islands that reflect the moon, she, the sea singer Santosi, was looking into this shard. We think it may have been part of what drove her mad, but yet, before she cut off all contact, we gained great insights. We believe these crystals may have links to dreams, to oneromancy. You would know something of that.
Well, of course. But what makes you think about what makes you say that? What how does it connect to dreams and arnomancy?
Sun Khan raised an army of kami, of argonauts, raised from children to be loyal to their siren handlers. But they were born strange, altered, dreaming together We believe that was done through this crystal as well as this. And another one of these bits of water rises up and coalesces into this more curved piece of this very brilliant, almost kaleidoscopic mother of pearl. Through these two pieces, that they tapped into them, expanded what they were, but also compromised them. Not only the kami, but the sirens as well. That those who would so effectively command many kami at once had to themselves be changed.
And you would say that the same thing happened to Senso C.
Not to the extent of the others, who we think were destroyed by the process, but something similar, something adjacent.
Right.
We believe that the islands that reflect the moon took aim at Haranu because they thought they could use Haranu's static engines to amplify their magic, their ability to control the kami.
I see.
We believe there is a continuity between the static engines, this shard, and this. She indicates the mother of pearl piece and that dark crystal. I was trying to avoid saying dark crystal, but there I goes.
Nah, they're good. No, oh man. Uh, you know what? I think she would say, yes, there is. Joni told me of how, well, the first settlers of of Haranu, they were the ones who created the static engines, and, well, they also were the ones who held the crystals. Real fast, just double checking. Is Julia saying this correctly?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. And, well, I do. Wait, do I recognize that mother of pearl? I feel like I do, right?
Um,
Do I? Would Musoko have seen that?
I don't think Musoka would.
No, okay. Yeah.
I think that might have been from Dawn's vision.
Right. But, okay. Just, I'm actually not sure about the mother of pearl, but, well, the static engines and the dark, I almost said dark crystal too. These crystals, well, they definitely work off each other.
When Sun Khan initiated this project, at first his only concern was for results. He did not understand how it worked. He had put a man in charge of it, a sorcerer, we believe an occultist, a practitioner of the old Western magics.
Do you know of a name?
Yes, his name was Ueno. However, when he discovered how it was twisting both Siren and Kami alike, Sun Khan shut down the project. Of course, that was not the end of the story. Because his lab on the islands that reflect the moon was raided amid snatches of reedy flute. And that crystal vanished, as did Ueno. However, the pearl was left behind.
And this Ueno, he's never come back to try and get it.
He never came back for the pearl, but the pearl has also never affected people the way that that ruined crystal has. We believe he is chasing the crystal, though we know not where. His movements have gone beyond our gaze. We
Do you
believe
suspect?
that is for the best, but if your Changok is gathering these, it means that anyone close to him may be in danger. It means that he himself may not be of his right and proper mind any longer.
You're saying that if Changok gets enough of these crystals, that he'll lose his mind. He'll not become sane. Not that he is currently.
Lose his mind, may even lose his form. These creatures and sirens affected by these two crystals together, they began to lose their integrity, they began to grow disfigured. They began to act, yes, with greater power, but with far less control.
It's almost like the same that happened to these kami and these sirens would happen to Changok.
That is our
But
belief.
do you know if Changok is working with this Ueno?
We do not believe so. At least
Okay,
we have seen nothing to indicate as such.
I see. This is deeply troubling. Would you be okay with me relaying this information to some of my friends? They're Vanguard in Haranu.
If you believe you may be facing Changok, they will need to know.
Okay.
Unfettered power with lost control is a most dangerous combination.
Okay. I'll let them know immediately. And so like I said, this other crystal, it's on this island. And you know nothing of this island? You don't know anything about possibly the Great Dama, about anything happening on Hanto?
Hanto has long been blind to the eyes of the Yingwu Luo. We thought it had nothing to offer but arms, yet it seemed to have no political aspirations beyond itself. I now see that could have been short-sighted.
Right. I'm just trying to think of whether or not Chang'ok himself knows about this, the inner workings of this island. Me and my friends were talking about, well, ash rains from the sky. People are half dead, essentially. We were incredibly unprepared coming here, and we were wondering if you think Chang'ok might, but he's slippery, you see.
I suspect that if he indeed is accumulating this power, what may be great hurdles for you would be less than an inconvenience for him.
Right. that crystal gives him so many abilities. I'm trying to think of if we can use the island to our advantage somehow. What? I have a question. I was thinking of this myself. I didn't want to suggest it to my friends because I thought it was a little risky, but what if we were, well, what if we were to tell the current Khan of this island what's happened? I don't know how she would trust us. I don't know how she would even give us the time of day, but what if we were to straight up warn them of Changok's attack?
By the Khan, I assume you do not mean Da'en.
No, I mean the Grey Dama. That was the Da'en's wife before. Well, something happened with a rift.
Da'en's wife was Osu Haranu. Our memory goes back far. We can remember when a teenage Osu Haranu was perhaps the most gifted young stateswoman that the Wushankos had seen in a generation. It was a great loss to the project of peace in the Wushankos when she did not pursue a political path.
Right.
If any of that still persists within her, then you may have an ally, though we cannot say what the past 2 decades have changed in her.
Well, what's currently happening on the island is that, well, they say that some people of the island have the opinion that she herself is more of a political head to the observers. And they called her mother the. I'm sorry, I'm looking at my notes. What mother did they call her? Phantom Mother?
The Queen Mother?
Yeah.
Queen Mother. There you go. Uh, and the people refer to Osu's or Junko as the Queen Mother. I'm just assuming. I always assume that there's something supernatural happening with those two. I am scared that something has warped their mind.
You believe there is something supernatural about Osu's mother.
Possibly. It just seems like the people of the island and well, yes, the people of the island have some kind of a bigger respect for her than Osu.
As I said, Hanto is a blind spot to the Yingwu Luo.
Right.
She
Yeah,
closes her eyes and looks like she's meditating for a second.
Yes.
I can tell you what little we know about Junko Haranu, but I doubt that it would provide you much to go on here.
While we're here, I might as well hear about it.
That she was the daughter of a Haranu military family. That she... Yes. And she's kind of, looks like she's really searching for this.
There's not much, is there?
We once gained access to an old roster of the League of Excellence. It is only 100 years old. That point, it was maybe halfway through its lifespan. but she was an initiate, a trial member into the League. We do not know if she ever fully joined.
Was she now? Interesting. Well, one piece of information we learned was that, wait, okay, Julia speaking. Do we know that what was her name? The girl that from the League of Excellence that visited before the Rift catastrophe 50 years ago?
Oh, that was an answer to Leighton there.
You mean the former head of the League of Excellence lady who was here? Yeah.
Yes.
I can't remember her name off the top of my head actually.
Assie. Oh god, Assie something?
Oh, Asayan.
Asayen, thank you. Yes,
There's
she
many similar
tells
names to that.
Asayen, yes. Yeah, she tells Yume, well, one thing we learned was that Asayen was one of the was someone who visited before the entire catastrophe happened on the island.
She seems to furrow her brow at that. Hanto, accepting visitors, especially of such high profile, is surprising. At the best of times, we did not know of this.
Yes. And this was apparently before the Rift catastrophe, so about 2 years ago. 2.5? Something to keep in the back of your mind. Yes?
We will bear this in mind.
Okay.
Oh,
Mhm.
one thing you deserve to be kept knowledgeable of.
Of Jakku?
Yes, regarding Jakku. Last I spoke, we told you that the warehouse he had been investigating had recently experienced a raid.
Of humans.
Discovered
Right.
that warehouse was storing golem cores. Yet another in the same complex appeared to have slaves, hidden slaves, kept in a secret subterranean room. When we discovered it, most had already been moved out. However, unfortunately, no signs of Jakku yet.
These slaves, were they sea orphans?
For the most part, yes.
Hmm. Do you think it's possible that he was taken with these slaves?
We had considered it, though we are, for the moment, trusting in Jakku's resourcefulness.
Would you... I... The past few days I've been having to keep up with Louis II, but I was thinking of contacting Jack. Do you think it'd be worthwhile?
Ultimately, that is your decision. However, he may be warding himself against psychic communication if he is truly worried about cover.
That was my concern.
Musoka, the hour grows early, but we hope you will not hesitate to contact us with what you learn, as we will continue to inform you of our own hunt.
Right. Sorry. Earlier in our conversations, I was a little hesitant to speak of what Joni told me, but I'm thinking this is the right call.
It is, Musoka. It is. And as you see that tide rise and start to cover you, you open up your eyes, not to the golden dawn, but to a slightly lighter gray. And another day in the Ashen Pale. With that, let's finally go ahead and take that break.
Asking my age.
We come back into the scene, into the Ashen Pale. This crumbling hotel, this former monument to grandeur that has long decayed past what it was, that has become just this shambling home for the unsavory. You actually come to realize that it's a pretty secure base of operations. It's actually very comfortable, and though there are a few of these shifty-eyed smuggler folks you see in the morning, none of them seem to take any interest in you, seem to have any interest in each other, and doing anything other than keeping their head low and moving about their own illicit businesses. There's no one close to your rooms. This actually feels like just about as secure a home base as you could find in this city, almost as if someone rolled a natural 20 to find it.
Wink.
You, as you look out over the morning, people maybe shambling towards what Fukuro knows as the walled city, or moving from their own homes elsewhere. You have a few ideas of things that you could do, of places your adventures could take you. So, I want to play out the next couple of days in the Ashen Pale a little bit more abridged, because I think you've done a good job finding your accommodations. You're a big enough group and a strong enough group that you're not really going to run into a lot of trouble that you can't deal with from common thugs. And so, of course, if there's anything you want to fully play out, we can, and I'll probably fully play out depending on where you go, but I want to ask, what are you guys doing over the next few days? What are your aims? What are you looking for? Are you splitting up? Are you doing this all together?
I guess one thing I know that Fukuro will do, I think every night he's going to use his if he doesn't use either his second level spell slots, he's going to go for a whole 20 minutes with Object Detect Engine just around different parts of the city, making sure there's no Changok sword within 1,000 feet of him.
All right.
That's just the nighttime, so I don't know.
One thing we would definitely do is like buy masks. So like, I'm sure we could probably speedrun that. Just say how many,
Yeah.
How much they are.
Actually,
and then
we need 24 masks. 24? 23?
Huh?
oh, because of all
What?
the
What?
guys on the boat.
Yes, for the crew
Oh.
members.
Let's
Yeah,
see
for
how
them.
expensive they are first.
Yes, I know, but
Yeah.
I'm saying, keep in mind that they could all be dead from the smoke by now. I'm just saying.
Over the past few
Yeah.
days, since it's a few days, obviously, if we want to buy all these masks, I would suggest we do it over the few days and not just like go in like one shop one day and just say, "Hey, 24, give them." We'll like split it
That-
up with
yeah.
the past few days, but yeah.
Maybe one day one person goes and buys 5, next day another person goes buys 5, etc., etc. Yeah.
If we can afford that many.
All right. I'll also say, everyone, remember to mark off a ration for the last day. Yeah, if you guys are going out and just searching for a place that'll sell you like high quality masks, the kind of masks that you don't have to roll Constitution saves for, I'll say, with you guys working together, someone can go ahead and roll an investigation with advantage.
Musaka?
I can do that. Woo-hoo! Let's
Oh,
go.
damn.
Easy.
So, you actually find a place that is they're willing to sell you these pretty high quality masks for about 20 chimes each. But they also take particular notice in these bananas,
Uh-huh.
and they're very enthused by this. And you think you could potentially buy each mask for a couple of bananas worth, trade them. So assuming that there are like 5 bananas in a bunch, that means 2 bunches get 5 masks.
Oh, beautiful. So I have 2 bunches. How many do you guys have right now?
I have 2. Well, we
2.
each had 2 and we spent 3 each. It's 3 overall.
Yeah, I think
I
we
have
said that
0.
those 3 were. I think we said that we spent Jin's bunches and one of Bijutsu's bunches.
Yeah,
3, 4, 6,
Bijutsu's
8.
sheet has one bunch left.
Yeah, so we had
So we have 9 bunches.
Yes.
I'd be willing to
So-
throw in one of the bunches for the 5 masks.
We can always make more about bananas if we find bones.
Yeah, we,
I mean, you've
But,
got a mass grave of bananas a few miles away.
Exactly.
How did this happen?
A mass
Well,
grave of bananas.
I guess whoever wants to sacrifice their bananas can do that.
Absolutely. I think it's worth it.
I think Peyton has enough money to cover well, to pay for it all anyway, either way. So, I'm not sure how many
Okay.
bananas are we sacrificing here.
Okay, so
you
is
could
our
split
is our aim to get a mask for everyone, including all the people in the
Yes.
yeah.
So I'd say we use all of them. So like, say
So we need 24.
I'm just doing the math right now. It's 24, so we'll get as many that 9 will get us. So 2 bunches equals 1 mask, right?
The 2
So we'll
bunches
be able to
equals
get-
5 masks, isn't it?
5 masks. Oh, mama. Okay.
Two bunch of bananas for 5 masks. Yes. So technically, if you want 25,
This
you would
this
need
feels like
10 bunches.
this feels like the
times
kind
5.
of math problem that doesn't exist in real life.
Yeah,
Like,
those
See,
math problems you find in the books. Yeah.
This is actually one of the, education books that people teach kids to Harano. Like, okay, children.
I
If
don't know.
you
I feel like
ever-
this might have been a question on my SAT.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can buy 5 masks for 2 bundles for 2 bunches of bananas. If you go to the banana field, find X.
Wait,
I'm
so
doing this wrong. Okay.
so Joey,
so it's-
are you suggesting we spend eight bunches for 20 masks?
Yes. Wait, hold on. Yeah, okay, so we have 8 bunches. 2 gets us 5. So 4 times 5 is 20. So we get 20 masks altogether, and then we just need to pay for the other 5.
I guess if we buy them all now, we're prepared for anything. I guess.
Hell yeah.
Will we have
Forget
different?
Um,
We'll load it all on Jin. He can carry a bunch.
I was gonna
Wait, so
say,
you're-
yes.
You're spending 8 bunches to get 20 masks?
yeah.
and
Wouldn't you
how
want
many
like
times was it for the other 4?
20.
20 chimes each.
Yeah, so it'll be like either 4 bunches and 80 chimes, or just have it be 6 bunches of bananas for 30 masks, which might be a better choice.
I can have Peyton cough up 80 times.
Hypothetically, while we're walking trying to find the store, do we find any corpses?
I mean,
Any people we could kill and no one would miss? I'm kidding. Okay.
wow.
Here, I'll split that with you, Peyton. So you pay 40, I'll pay 40. Or we can split it up.
I
into more.
have 1,400 chimes. I don't
What the
need
fuck?
like.
Remember the-
How-
That's his split from the trip from the thing we got
yeah,
for
yeah.
Cage. The
Yeah,
cage.
yeah. Like keep
Okay,
keep the money.
covered.
Like I feel like we if
Grandpa's
one
loaded.
person has a lot of money, they don't. Yeah, you know, they
Yeah.
should pay the
Might as
brunt
well
of
not
it.
make it complicated. Okay. I got you. Okay, perfect. So we have 25. I'm just trying to think. When should we go back to the boat and check on them? Because I feel like we really have to.
Well,
Would we be able to do this within the past few days? Or
I said, well, I
Is-
think Bijutsu has sending, doesn't she?
she does.
So I think she should check up on them. Yes. See how they're going.
Check up on them
well,
and then maybe tell them like that we're sending supplies your way and
Well, are we?
well,
we're not sure
Peyton
yet.
has sending too, and since Sori isn't here, I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
entirely comfortable with role-playing Bijutsu, so I'll do it with Peyton.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Look.
that's a good idea. Just check in on our crew. That's a
yeah,
Good
I
point.
mean
What's our leader's name? Mizuki.
Mizuki, isn't it?
Mizuki.
Yeah. Contact Mizuki.
Yeah. I'll do that.
Uh-oh. I just rolled to see how many of the crew are very sick.
That's
And,
all of them.
Yes. When you send this sending and you get your reply back, Mizuki tells you that everyone has become very sick over the past couple of days.
Jesus
oh no.
Christ.
Suppose I can
So-
spend foresight to make you roll that d20 again.
I mean, if you want to.
I mean,
I would. Okay. Honestly, I think it's worth it because that's a lot of people down.
that's everybody. Okay,
That's everybody almost. Yes.
I'll spend 2 foresight if nobody else has 2 or has any
I don't
they
have
want
any
to
foresight.
give.
I use all my foresight. Sorry.
How many do you have, Seth?
4. Plus, I think. Hang on. I have 4 on Fukuro, and I technically also have 3 on Nia.
Well, I think it's actually 3 foresight to force me to re-roll.
Oh, why did I think it was 2?
Nani?
Well, just you guys never use that option.
Oh,
Because
well,
We used it a
expensive.
lot when
we used it against Cicadia.
we,
You know
we
what?
used it on Juniper when the boat exploded.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Can I take it from Dawn, or is that not allowed in the?
Oh,
main
of course, yeah.
Oh, it is okay. All right, I'll take 1 foresight from Dawn to help with that 3, and then what are you gonna do? 2, or is someone else gonna fork up?
I can-
Flip
If anybody else has 1, they feel like giving so that our entire crew doesn't die before we get there.
I'm not drowning in foresight, so.
I don't think any of us are.
Mm,
Well, you seem to have a lot at the moment.
I'll do 2. 1 from Fukuro, 1 from Nia.
Okay, perfect. Yeah.
All right, let me
And-
re-roll that. Okay, watch me get a nat 20.
Oh, boy.
Don't.
don't.
Come on, bro.
Oh.
Really? Really?
Ah. Alright, well, it's worth, in that case, I'd say, can we say that we did this, like, kind of that morning? Like, we contacted them?
Yeah.
So,
Let me roll the d20.
how
Could've
how
wanted
long how long would the journey be from here to that boat on the bike?
Oh, like if just one of you takes Jin.
Yeah.
Let me figure that out, because some of this is very difficult terrain,
Right.
and some of it is difficult terrain, and some of it is regular terrain. So let me see.
I mean that's a pretty mental image. I gotta say, like one guy sort of cruising across the desolate landscape. It's like
On a
Mad
motorbike.
Max, like. "Rrrr."
Yes.
Not just a desolate landscape, a volcanic landscape.
Of death.
This is the perfect
Yeah,
time
like-
for Ahsoka to try out her water warding method.
God.
Yeah, it would take. It would. I think if you're on the back of Jin and you ride the whole time without stopping, you may be able to do a round trip and get back before midnight.
Okay. Honestly, I think that's worth it, but at the same time, I would hate for someone to get like jumped in the middle of that, you know. But he's fast, so I don't know.
Yeah, is it safe to do that?
Well, Jin is a tank. Like
Jin's
I
a
have
tank.
I have 20 AC normally, so
Maybe
Maybe we could tell. What if we told Go
either
on.
Peyton or Bijutsu does it so that if something happened, they can quickly send a sending to the rest of the group.
I like that
yeah.
idea. And also, what if we tell one of the healthier of the crew to meet us in the middle?
Does
So
either
that
Bijutsu or Peyton or anyone have haste, the haste spell? Or any way of increasing speed?
I have Long Strider.
Because
Damn.
if you cast that
I mean-
on Jin, you'd outrun everything on the island.
Wait,
I imagine.
hang on. How fast would it be for a bird to get there?
I mean,
Ooh.
faster than Jin.
The flying speed of the bird, I guess.
yeah, but the bird would have to carry all of that.
Well,
Make-
stuff.
It's bird.
Ah, yeah.
I mean,
Dude, you can turn into, like a giant velociraptor, probably. That's not a bird, but you know, velociraptor
I mean,
has
it's,
rapid.
it's hella sus though. Like imagine just seeing a giant velociraptor carrying supplies across Honto.
I mean, what are these guys gonna do, huh? Stop it?
The stealthiest bird
Yeah.
that also moves fast that you could turn into.
Yeah. There are weird stuff. There's weird stuff on this island. I feel like it wouldn't turn too many heads as long as it's not like attacking villages. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that probably wouldn't work actually.
No. Okay.
Well, so what would if a person did go there? What would they do once they got there?
Give them the masks.
Okay.
And probably with some bananas. I mean, it's better that way. Give them food.
Maybe we
But,
should get them bananas, get them that, and like with the masks, I feel like you would recover in a few days. You know what I mean?
How many supplies does the crew have for rations and such? Like for how long?
They've certainly got enough to sustain them. You know,
Yeah,
probably
one thing,
a few weeks worth.
one thing I am worried about is like
Okay.
so far we've had no natural healing of the smoke effect. Everything we've done is because of sucking.
Look, I'm not. You can say what you will, but I don't have enough suck power to suck off the whole crew. So next thing, please.
Okay, so our goal is just to
I'm so
deliver the
sorry.
mask to them, and I hope they recover in time for whatever point we need them.
We could set. Okay, here's the thing. Yes, we could send Usoka, and she could try her water breathing method.
Has
That-
it really been?
Doesn't have a very good track record.
It doesn't, but I mean, yeah, bro. I
Cool idea. I won't lie.
rolled a 16 and it didn't work. I was so mad at that.
I mean, if Bijutsu, no, not Bijutsu, Jinrei raises over there with the masks, then there's also the added bonus of him being able to do the suck on some crew members.
Yeah. No matter what Jinroy is going, because he's our transportation. But I like the I feel like the best would possibly be Bijutsu because she does have some healing. She has healing and she has sending. So
yeah, she can do
two healers.
what's it called? Cure wounds.
So we
Well,
could
I
say
also
like
got cure wounds, so
Exactly.
Oh,
So
she
you
also
two
has
could go there.
long strider. Oh, that's only for her boots. Never mind.
Yeah, I mean, the boots are part of her, so.
Yeah, but she couldn't put that on Jinray. You can't like put the
Well,
boots on the wheels.
I mean,
I would
Yeah,
hate to
this
do
is
this
a-
with the.
this
Go
is a okay. This is a bit of a weird question, but how you know that we said that Jin turns into a bike, but what's the speed? We never really clarified that, did we?
Yes, we did. 60 feet.
Yeah, I
Oh.
said the same as a riding horse.
Oh, I kind of forgot. Never mind. We can't really, attach to the boots to Jin. No, that's more. Never mind. Never mind.
Well, if a Kuro class long strider, you'd go for 70 feet a turn for an hour.
Well, yeah, but
Perfect.
you'd only get that for 6 hours. So.
No, but
That's
the thing I'm worried about is if someone's cruising across the landscape and if they get attacked by something. But potentially with
know.
70 feet a second speed, they'd be able to outrun anything.
Maybe
well.
we all should go. What if we? But that
I
would take long.
mean, okay. So if I have 60 feet on the bike, that's 60 feet per turn, and I can just use my action to, dash to make it 120 feet, and that's pretty fast to run away.
It's a
You
bit of a
know,
risk. It would have to be a good roll. You know what I mean? Like whoever goes, like I'm sure we're gonna have to roll like, or roll fucking survival or something to get over there safely.
Okay, how about this? Could Bijutsu's robotic bird carry the masks?
No, it could not carry a big thing of 23 masks or 19 masks,
How
however
many
many.
masks could it carry?
Oh,
One, maybe two.
so with that logic, it'll basically make either 24 or 12 trips back and forth with the bird. But
Yes, but that still doesn't take care of the fact that they're already sick.
mm-hmm.
yeah,
I do think
and also
the best option for
Um,
us is definitely sending Bijutsu and Suck Bike over here, and then
shit. Yes.
Yeah, that's
got it.
probably the easiest. To just do that.
we could always have
Oh,
someone
and-
else go with them just in case. But it could
And
be
I
Musoka.
Oh, yeah,
just realized.
wasn't there space for two people on the bike? Or just
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
So
wasn't like
two
the
people
other
could go
space
with.
taken by something else, like some carry weight? No.
Oh yeah, maybe
Was
that
it?
space will be taken by the masks.
All right.
Well, it's masks, so I imagine you can't just put them in a thing. But like I was thinking, didn't we say that we took masks something else or
I don't remember.
no?
I don't think so. Nah.
So just Jin riding while Bijutsu is carrying the masks and can carry somebody else. Technically, no.
I just, you know what? Let's send Musoka. I think that's the best person to send for like just in case something bad happens, right? Like we have she has blur, she has like drowsiness, she has a lot where we can. I feel like we could get away easy. You know what I mean? Just fly. So if you need to fly, we could fucking fly. I
Okay,
think
so
that's the strategy. I think. Oh my god! Imagine. Okay. Imagine fucking casting fly on bike. Roy.
Ooh, man, that'll be pretty hilarious. And technically, I can skip the whole part of difficult terrain for that time, kinda.
In
Yep.
10
It's
minutes,
only
though?
for 10 minutes, but it's good for
In
getting
10
away.
minutes.
Like you're just
It
gonna
is,
fucking fly away, and it's gonna be easy. You know.
I have the exact gift for this, and everybody knows what it is.
All right, I think that's our plan. We'll send Musoka and Bijutsu with Jinroy to deliver the masks and start healing our boys. Does that sound okay?
Sounds fine to me.
Who's going? with
Bijutsu, Misoka, and Jin.
and Shiruku.
Care-
Actually, yeah, that I guess that actually works. Leaving Shiruku and Fukuro, I guess, with the at the city. You know, the two guys who were like made
And-
to
and
do this
Peyton.
stuff. Yeah,
And
and Peyton.
Peyton, because
Although
Peyton could, yeah.
I do like the idea of Fukuro being the second person because of Longstrider. Just
Yeah, but
But I mean,
Musika
Alright,
also has a way of healing them, possibly, maybe, if she doesn't
Not-
fuck up again. But you know,
if I don't
yeah,
fuck up.
and I have lesser restoration as well, so that's an extra 2 uses of suck.
Can I just suggest that whatever we choose it before 10 over.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, can I just say, Shiruku takes 1 suck before the bike goes. Because
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, let's move it
And-
along.
yeah, let's stick with this decision.
All right.
All right. So, Musoka and Bijutsu hop on the back of Jin, who is going to go zooming on down those steps out back towards your ship, braving the wilds, braving the volcanism. Let's have one of you guys go ahead and roll survival.
There
Oh,
we go.
May I
can
ask
I
how?
do the navigator's tools again for the GPS?
Sure, yeah, I'll allow that.
Because I'm not seeing. I don't think anybody else has anything, good survival
I don't have
out
good
of
survival.
Bijutsu and.
Yeah,
With,
sure. Intelligence or wisdom?
they both suck, so.
Woo!
Yeah.
So, as you ride, you manage to buy those masks pretty early in the morning, find them quickly, and you ride on through the afternoon till you can see that orange haze in the sky. You finally reach the boat and manage to kind of rappel your way back down to that little hidden alcove. Does not look like anyone has bothered Setya's courage in that time. You distribute the masks. They're grateful. Mizuki seems fine. You see, she's got kind of a first mate who also seems good, but everyone else, they are bags under their eyes. They are looking very ill, but they can breathe easier with these masks. It kind of seemed like they've tried to seal off the top.
Right. And we I will try. Like, I think we would try our best to like distribute like some healing during this as well. Like he'll give the suck. Bijutsu will do her what is it called? Am I stupid? Cure wounds. And
Cure
then
wounds, yeah.
and then I will try to do my water warding method. Totally not called water warding because it rhymes with waterboarding.
All right. Musoka,
yes.
go ahead and roll an intelligence check, Musoka.
Okay. Come on. New pair of boots. Yeah.
Ooh.
All right. How many of these water breathings are you casting?
Well, water breathing could go. It could affect up to 10 people, right?
Oh, hey, that's true. So,
Well, you need to do it twice. Yeah.
yeah. Dang, you can cast it twice and cover everyone.
Yep.
So, Musoka, you spend maybe about an hour with everyone here, kind of trying to cycle through their waters. And after a couple of false starts, and they've got a supply of water on the ship, some that they've boiled off, etc. You feel like now you've got a sense of where you went wrong before. And it seems like one by one, you managed to sort of cleanse their lungs. Now, no one is back to 100%, but it seems like they go from this sort of listless gray pallors to just kind of hoarse coughing, still unwell, but not looking like they're on death's door.
Perfect.
So, Misoka used 2 of her water breathing charges to heal most of the crew, not to full, right?
That's right.
Right. So, I have 6 usage of that lesser restoration thingy, so maybe I could help with that process, if possible.
All right. So you go through on those who remain, and no one's quite up to full. Are you focusing on like getting a smaller number of people and bringing them up to full?
Yeah, but what's important was yes.
Yeah. So
Wait,
you pick what look like the most skilled seafarers in the lot. So eventually you have like a handful of people, maybe 5 people in the crew who are completely at 100%, and get the sense that maybe you know later on, on another day, Musaka comes back and gets in another round with these people. You do a few more of these that you can get, yeah, a plurality of them up. But you feel like the crew is looking a lot better.
Fantastic.
Does cure wounds actually do anything for their condition?
No,
Okay.
it cures wounds.
yeah, none of them are actually wounded.
Maybe some of the damage to their lung tissue. I don't know. We'll get
Look,
killed.
you can use mending to do that. But anyways,
Mending. Yeah, I guess. But yeah, we
Yeah, use mold earth. People are
yes,
essentially a type of earth.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
if
think
you
about
believe
all
it,
those
yes.
minerals.
are humans not one with the earth? Come on. Yeah, either way,
Look,
I don't know if we
let's
need to
move
roll
on.
something to go back, but
You do.
well, fun. You gotta do that again, maybe.
So I gotta GPS my way back, huh?
Yes,
Yeah,
you do.
All right then. Wisdom or intelligence, you said?
That's right.
yes.
That was exactly the number I was thinking of because it was going to get a little harder on the way back. But yeah, you managed to pull your way through. Afternoon waning as you pass the North Annex. It's already getting dark. Wending your way through this swirling sea of gray that you've picked up. That sort of northern, uninhabited part of the Ashen Pale is nicknamed the Surf. Finally, you make your way back to that stairway. Use your last bunch of bananas to buy your passage back into the upper city. And
Unless, of course, you stop to pick up more bananas on the way.
We don't have Peyton with
I
us right
mean,
now. That's
No, but the bananas are still buried there.
well, how long will it take to unearth those bananas, anyways? Like,
well, we have to make another roll. Nah,
you
screw that.
might.
Screw that. I don't think we should risk it.
I mean,
This is already pretty
is
risky
it a,
as it is.
well, yeah, screw it. Not worth it. Just
Yeah, nah. Be coming back. We'll find more corpses.
All right.
eventually.
And the rest of the guys, do they do anything else while these fellas are out delivering masks?
Okay.
Yes, we do. We do a lot.
I think we should focus on one thing for the first day, don't we? Shouldn't we? Or one thing. Or one
Yeah.
thing.
One thing. So, what do you think? The smugglers and the hanging first, or
Yeah, that's a good idea. How about you go first?
yeah? So Fukuro, at least on the first day, is going to go around and see what he can find out about the hanging that's coming up soon, and I guess maybe about hangings in general.
All right. So, since you've got that feature, it's not exactly that, but I'm not going to make you roll for it. You spend a number of hours kind of trying to speak to those who are less on their guard. What you find out is that most people, they don't really know the specifics about the hanging that's coming up. It's not really announced. Like the specifics of it, but just that there is going to be a hanging. And it's kind of the one thing that brings the community together, that there's not really much entertainment to be had in this place, and that the slight carnival atmosphere of the hangings and the fact that sometimes, not a lot, but sometimes the observers will distribute food or water during these, make it quite an event for people. But from what you're able to gather, it seems like the hangs are usually um, there's a little bit of a symbolic element to them, that they're really prioritized people who they portray as betraying the ideals of Horanu or betraying the Grey Dama.
Wrong island, but yes. Ideals of Hanto.
Oh, sorry.
You said Haranu, and for a brief second I was like, wait, what? Oh, yeah, no, wrong island, okay. So, that's kind of like the... Because my next question was going to be, what do you have to do to be a person who is hanged? So, generally just that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, you get the sense that it's definitely less about being punitive and more about the symbology of it.
And whoever is being hanged, it's being kept private. Well,
Do you think I should try for the other thing again today, since that didn't take long? Or?
I guess maybe we can do multiple things in one day, yeah?
So, what were they called? The Grey Ji Cheng?
Yes.
Pirates. I guess the next thing Fukuro would look into would be them.
All right. Is Fukuro looking into these on his own, or are Peyton and Shiruku helping him? What's going on here?
I mean, if Peyton isn't doing anything else, I suppose Fukuro could bring him just in case he needs some magic, I guess. If Peyton isn't doing anything.
I don't have any ideas at the moment.
Okay.
So yeah, I guess Peyton can come. Him being so very interested in piracy, obviously.
Some extra muscle.
Hey man, that fireball does a lot.
Exactly.
I mean, they might be missing a few teeth, and you can use that for research.
All right. So I'm going to say to really find out much about these Grey Ji Changs, it may be sort of a high DC, but let's have one of you guys roll investigation with advantage.
What's Peyton's investigation?
+5.
Oh, me too. Do you want to do it, or should I?
I think it's probably more appropriate if you do it.
Probably, yeah. Okay.
So try to find out what you can about these Ji Changs. What you're able to find, you're kind of drawn towards a part of the Ashen Pale, more towards the western side, this neighborhood that's called Conquest Anchors. And here there are, it seems like it was once an industrial place, a lot of warehouses that have kind of collapsed in on themselves or been repurposed as living spaces. The first thing you find is that most people, they don't really know much about these Ji Changs. It seems like it was a little bit of a fluke that Shiruku was able to pick up on them. But those few who do know, they know that these people, sometimes called veiled sailors, that they've actually been targeting both slavers and chi shippers. Hear rumor that they've been going for those who operate outside the trade routes. The implication there is that they target those who would already be dealing in illicit goods or dealing in things that aren't council sanctioned. The rumor is that most of what they pick up goes directly to the Phantom Courts, but that some of it is also redistributed by the observers. But you're not able to find anyone who's actually directly met one of these veiled sailors. Seems like they definitely operate in a separate sphere from this life. Like they are directly accountable to either the observers or the Grey Dama.
Interesting.
And yeah, sort of these two things, these take up your entire day, going into this other neighborhood and finding out about these.
Yeah, and then I guess he ends the day with going with the object detection engine through a different part of the city to make sure there is no Changok.
Yeah, maybe you do through the conquest anchors, since you're already over in this part of the city. This is kind of near the coast. It extends to these old docks that are falling down and these old built up. Shoot, why am I blanking out on the name of it? When you have like a bunch of masonry that makes like a breakwater, made out of some kind of ancient looking masonry. But you wander around here, fairly confident at the end of it that you haven't picked up on Changok's sword.
Cool. No Changok yet. Yet.
Okay.
Alright, like,
Yes, now for my half of the day.
Oh,
Yes. See, we planned things, I guess. Basically.
yeah, we planned it out. We planned out who would go for what.
So Shiruku is going to try and investigate, the Fortune's Hoard. Now, I don't know how would he do that. I guess he might disguise himself a little bit as a sort of... I don't know if this is a good idea, but I'll go with it. I think Shiruku is going to make himself up a bit as a bit of a crazy-looking person, maybe a bit of a drunk, and go around just asking suspicious-looking people about them, but pretending like he's just... I don't know, because my thinking is, normal people don't go around asking about smuggling outfits, so I'm going to look like not a normal person, and attempt just to look like someone who's just not quite there, and he's just asking questions without regards to their own safety. I guess is my thinking. I don't know if that was too specific, but hey.
yeah. So you managed to kind of, if anything, pick up some even rattier clothing somewhere, muss yourself up. Maybe you rub some crap onto your mask, whatever it is. And you go around asking here and there, wherever anyone's shady, if they've heard about these Fortune's Hoard. Go ahead and roll. I'm going to say it's either investigation or performance, but if it's performance, the DC will be higher. Or, well, it may be a slightly different thing that you pick up.
Well, I think I'll go investigation. Good
Oh,
grief.
dang.
Yeah, I think a month ago I figured that Shiruku had a missing expertise, and I put it in investigation.
Very nice. So, we're able to find, kind of stumbling around here and there. The first bit of it, probably not surprising, that they are operating out of the Powder Cove. Uh, you also hear rumors about them actually coming through both the exchange, that marketplace on the east side of town, as well as going into the walled city, and apparently having a lot of money to spend. Not only money, but valuables. Uh, yeah, very, very hard things to trade. Uh, Diamonds. And what else? Where else would your questions go?
Um, is this specifically about the Fortune's Hoard, or is this about other things?
I mean, these are what you'd talk to people about the Fortune Sword. You can say other things, but I may adjust it to what someone who you were talking to about the Fortune Sword might respond when you change the subject.
I think I'll stay on the Fortune's Hoard. I guess. Let's see. If my end goal is finding out whether they're working or have any contact with Chengok, what's the best question for that? Whew. I guess I'm going to be asking. I mean, this is going to be difficult, but asking about what their contacts off the island are. I guess. Yeah, that's gonna be very difficult, isn't it? But yeah, that's the way I'll go. That's the best way I can think of.
So you ask around about this. You don't get an answer. This seems like the kind of thing that even the folks around here know to protect. But finally, do get someone who hands you a little piece of parchment with something written on it. It seems to be an address within the walled city, somewhere you could potentially go to learn more.
Shuriku sort of tips his really ugly hat, which I assume he's wearing as part of this disguise. He goes, thank you, and just waddles off. Okay, yeah, I'll hang on to that for the next day. But like Vikura, am I allowed to investigate 2 things today?
Depends what the second thing is. This would have taken a while.
Fair enough. The second thing I wanted to learn about was the warlords down south, the lords and all that you mentioned.
Sure. Roll another investigation check. Yeah, what you are able to find out about this is that this is an area called the Lord's Acre. It's just north of the Ring Grove. It seems like this was once kind of the upper crust part of the city, these sort of townhouses, and that many of them have been essentially repurposed as fortresses that are the home bases of these uh armed, like, warlord armies that control the Ring Grove and all of these still growing foodstuffs that they regularly end up battling with each other. But the most powerful of these is a fortress called the Hatohame Estate. That it used to belong to one of Hanto's few legitimate powder brokers, someone actually authorized to trade gunpowder off the island. But since the catastrophe here, he's become the largest tyrant of bread apples.
Ooh. Okay. I guess having learned this, Yeah, that concludes Suruku's investigation for today.
All right. Eventually, everyone returns back to this sort of hotel. But what should we call this hotel?
The hold on.
Hanto Hotel.
Yes, we're calling it Hampton
Love it.
Hotel.
The Hanto Hotel.
Damn, I was gonna say something about the seaweed. Seaweed
Yeah,
hotel.
seaweed or tea.
Because of the tea.
The Teaweed.
Seaweed,
What?
seaweed.
Seaweed
Seaweeds.
hotel. No.
We'll go with the
Yeah.
Hot Hotel.
The Hanto Hotel. Could
Yeah.
be so lonely you could die.
Yes.
So it's another 40 chimes for you guys for this second night. Another 40 chimes. Another ration for everyone marked off. But this
Also,
next. Oh, go ahead.
just saying that I have 10 rations in me, but that I don't really need. So, is it fair to say that I just gave each person here like 2 rations?
Oh, sure. Or you could just like mark off 5 of them and take care of everyone for tonight.
If that's better, then yes, I'll do that. Cause I'm a robot. I don't need to eat.
Yeah, there we go.
TY.
So, this day passes. Feeling confident you've done some good. You've made some progress. Does anything happen in the night, or do we go into an overview of the next day?
Should we dream or dreams?
Well,
Somebody-
I do imagine before we left, I don't know if it's a little, but I would imagine she would tell everyone what Yume told me. Wait, did I just lag out?
No.
No,
No,
okay.
you're here.
No,
Yeah, I
I
just
heard
would've
like
really
you were gonna say tell everybody like what Yumi told you.
Yeah. Okay, good.
I'm just trying to remember all the details of that. 'Cause it
That
wasn't-
was a
I'll
lore
remember.
dump and a half.
Don't worry, I remember with my brain.
Well, it was most of that. It was half an hour ago now.
But yeah,
So, are you going to try to once again dream Liu the Second? And are you finally going to try to dream Changok?
I don't know what she. Okay, well, I am personally. She wants to.
You should
dream.
do Leo. That's your thing. I can do someone
Yeah,
else.
I'll do Liu.
I mean, hopefully we
All
don't
right.
break the
Let's go
pacing of the
first.
session, but hey.
Right, I'll do Liu.
Okay. Musoka, you attempt to dream meld with Lou the Second. Hold on.
Attempt. Uh-oh, what is this? Oh, okay. Um.
Musoka, you are in a very different environment. Gone is this rainbow dreamscape. You seem to be in this opulent hall built of marble, these tall, very fine yet unadorned, Spartan, severe pillars rising up into the darkness of this huge hallway. And you are moving forward through it very slowly, though your feet aren't moving. You realize that you are sitting in this velvet couch, overstuffed. You are sinking into the cushions. You can see these velvet curtains over the windows, these marble floors that are just dusty with disuse. and can see what looks like a sandstorm raging outside the windows, but you can't hear the sound of it. Just this gray scale sandstorm outside with these occasional flashes of light. You can look around, but you're not able to get up as you are continuing to move slowly forward in this endless hall. And as you look over, you can see at the far end of this almost impossibly large couch is Lou, just stuck deep into it, one arm resting up on the rest.
What's on? Lou. She waves to him, trying to get his attention.
He he shakes his head a little bit. He seems a little bit dazed. He almost, as his head lazily turns towards you, you can see there's this glassiness to his eyes.
Lou, what happened to you? What's going on?
Yo, what?
Can I try to get up from this moving couch? Or am I like actually really stuck?
Make a strength check.
Interesting.
What is your dream
Okay.
strength?
Not good.
You try to, and you are just boom, instantly pulled back deep into these velvet cushions. There's another flash of light from outside of these windows.
What on earth? Lou, what happened while I was gone? I'm sorry, last night I couldn't come. Someone interrupted my dream magic, but
I don't know. Just chilling.
so you're not hurt or anything, right? You're just chilling, you said?
Yeah, whatever. You're just chilling. So what's got you shook?
Well, it's just your dream is very different tonight. Are you high?
Who are you again?
Uh-oh. Musoka.
Musaka. Like, what are you doing here?
Can I, like, look around, and... You know what? Okay, I know what to do. Lou, I'm here to check on you. Remember what I said earlier. Count your fingers.
What? You're here checking on me?
Yeah,
Like my mom?
I mean...
That's pretty cringe.
She would say, well, more like your buddy. You seem to have, had something put you under the influence.
Ew, stalker. You're not my buddy. I don't even know you.
Hey, I know you might not know me, but would you like to hear a trick?
Psh, I don't want to know about that.
Just listen. Indulge me, okay? So, right now, you're dreaming. You know that, right?
Yeah. Wow. Big surprise, Kappa.
Every time he says church thing go. Okay. So you know you're dreaming. You're lucid right now. Hey, can I try to get out of this big old couch again?
Make another strength check. And you pull and you pull, and it feels like something is pulling you back before you go tumbling out across this hallway. And as you do across this marble floor, you can feel just how much grime and dust there is that's built up on it. Though you can see that long crushed velvet couch is still advancing towards you.
Uh,
Slowly, but it seems like you'll have to keep walking to keep up with it.
I'm gonna wait. So is he on the moving couch right now, or is it more?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I want to like go closer to him, just like look in his eyes. Like, can I roll insight or something, just to see like what could be affecting him?
Sure.
Or is it? Okay.
You look into his eyes, and it sort of looks like he's high. You can see that glassiness and that redness on the dry lips, but there's something else to it too. Something indescribable, but it's like he really is sincerely not recognizing you in this moment.
Hmm. Lou, do you remember what happened to you before you went to sleep?
I don't know. Just some random shit.
Random shit.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know. I I killed an animal and I jacked off. What do you want me to say?
Did you actually do? Did someone force you to?
It's just a joke, bro. Don't
How is
get
that?
hurt. It's just a joke.
How's that funny? Okay. Well. Hmm. I'm looking around. Like, can I go to the windows and look at the sandstorm outside?
You approach the window, and all you can see is this raging storm of gray just beating against the glass.
Hmm. Lou, something's affecting your dream. I want you just look at me. I'm not your mom. I'm not someone cringe. I'm a friend. I've been here for the past few dreams. You don't remember me.
Now he's kind of looking away, not meeting your eyes.
Hey, come on. Wouldn't you want someone to talk about what's happening in real life? I know it's scary.
What, you want me to tell you about what happened to me in real life?
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Fine. I got kidnapped by the illegitimate Khan of Horanu, and now I'm finally going back to somewhere where I'm safe. But as he says this, it seems like the entire hallway reverberates with the sound of it, almost as if you can hear this voice sounding a chorus as it bounces off of the glass of all of these windows.
What? Wait, so when he was saying like I got captured by the illegitimate that's like, you know, is he just like fucking around or is he actually being truthful?
You don't know.
Fucking
Now he finally does meet your eyes again and says, "Look, you're pretty sketch. Maybe you should just go."
well, hey, one thing I wanted to tell you is that uh Joni knows where you are. I want to tell you that help is on the way right now.
Psh, whatever. I don't want to see that kidnapper again.
Kidnapper. What?
Look, why don't
Why
you
do you?
just go?
No, I will not go. I kind of like stand my little Musoka ground, and I say, something happened to you in real life, okay? I'm gonna try to change the environment. Normally your dreams look like this, and she's gonna try her best to make it like that weird, rainbow roady translucent area instead of this deep depressing hallway.
Make a charisma check for me.
Okay.
And as you try to shift it around, you can see little flashes. Those lightning that occasionally lights up the windows seems to have a bit more color to it, almost as if it's a rainbow. But then his eyes look towards you, and now you hear his voice all around the room, and he says, I think you should just go, all right? I think you should just go. And you hear this. You look and you see this big, ugly crack over one of these windows before it suddenly bursts open and the entire hall begins to fill with this gray dust, drowning you. You feel yourself coughing, choking before.
Oh.
Hold on. Before you awake, morning once more in the Hanto Hotel.
God damn it.
Oh no. Oh no. She gets up immediately, and I think she would tell everyone the news of what the hell happened to Lou the Second's dream.
Well, can I have a dream first?
Oh yeah, no, go for it.
Oh, okay. What are you doing, Shiroku?
Oh, who should I pick? Who should I pick?
Who's next down the list?
Well, they're not in order of they're not in order of interest, really. No, pick a number between 1 and 3.
2.
Okay. That's the most interesting one, isn't it? Okay, oh, this might be a waste of a spell slot, but I am going to attempt to contact Emiko Yi,
Ooh.
the person who
Curious.
cannot be contacted.
All right. So, what do you think this environment looks like as you try to dream contact Emiko Yi?
Well, you know what? I'll do something. I'll do something that's familiar to both of us. Let's say the amphitheater where Loki did his lecture back on Konoka, where we first met, where we first sort of, when we saw them running away.
Oh, yes, oh, yes, oh, yes. I am. Let me see. Do I have this tile available? I know it's faster. I'll just put it up here manually. All right, we'll say you're on the edge of the city of Khans.
Man, Tsuruku's dreaming of Konoka a lot recently, apparently.
You can see that in the distance. However, right now you're among the gardens of the Ronin Institute of Leadership. No, not leadership. Of what was it? Legislation and Diplomacy? Something like that. The Rild Institute. It is a pleasant day, kind of getting into the early afternoon. You can hear the sounds of jays nesting in the pine boughs above. But she is sitting there, looking around a little bit confused.
Good evening. Also, good evening.
Oh, Oh, hey, you! You're the one, Mr. Maskman. You're from Kanuka, right? One of the ones trying to get into the embassy?
Hey,
Pretending you're somebody else? 'Cause you're probably like a serial killer or something?
I mean, except for that last part, I guess you're right. I mean, that's why I
Oh
was.
yeah, they'll never tell you if they're a serial killer.
I mean, although what you're talking about was a while ago. Uh,
Oh,
pardon?
why are you here? Why am I here? I dropped out over a year ago.
Ah, was that when you ran away with Sayaka?
Yeah. What? So you've been following me since then? It's kind of
Oh.
creepy.
Ah, no, not quite, not quite. I did attempt to find you. So you see, many people were very worried. Well, especially when you went to Kamishima of all places.
Oh, so you're like serious about this? You're like legit? Wait, are you like? Did my dad hire you?
No. I'm more of an independent worker, really. And well,
Dude, seriously, when you admit to tracking a college girl all the way across the Wushankos and you say, no, I'm an independent worker, that sounds like creepy as hell, dude. Like,
I-
you've got to have a better way of framing that.
sorry. Well, I guess well, the reason I was following you is that, well, as you probably remember, we met her on Konoka, and well, both of you seemed very distressed. And you ran off, took a ship, and then disappeared from, well, everyone. And I felt, well, since we were your last, since we were your last in, what should I call it, one of your last interactions before you left, I felt, well, slightly guilty, I suppose, in that I might have, we might have contributed to your sudden flight, and yeah.
All right. Look, honesty time. I know you're working for Haranu. You're a vanguard or almost a vanguard or something.
It's complicated.
Yeah, look, I've been dealing with espionage since before I could walk properly, okay? It's just something that happens when you grow up in the Khan's house. That was a long time coming, and why am I even talking to you about this? Where? And she kind of has a sudden realization over her face. Is this real?
No. I'll be straight with you in that. We're both asleep right now.
And I'm dreaming about this random asshole interrogating me.
I guess so. Well, you appear to be a very difficult person to find in the real world. I heard there's all sorts of people looking for you, including, well, Sayaka. She seems to have abandoned you.
She's... Now, is this like my way of projecting my frustrations about the world? Is this supposed to be like some kind of a psychoanalytical thing?
It can be if you want. It's your dream.
Okay,
Do you feel like you need that? I can help you.
roll either a performance or a persuasion check. Look, no, Sayaka didn't abandon me, and I don't know if this is like some kind of a subconscious thing that, all right, have fears that she abandoned me. Look, I don't do subconscious. Subconscious is trite, it's passe. I am over subconscious. Right now, I've got so much conscious on my plate. I don't have time for any of that.
Well, it seems to me like you have a lot of pent-up emotions, shall we say. Are you sure you wouldn't like to discuss that? I mean, could we talk about, well, starts from maybe what happened on Kamishima? Just, do you feel like telling someone else about it would, well, wouldn't it soothe your soul?
So if random Vanguard asshole is my subconscious therapist, why can't you just already know about all of that?
That would defeat the point of you talking about it if I already knew. And, well, I could look like someone else if that is more comfortable for you.
I'll let you make a deception check.
Yeah, it's a bit of a weird conversation, but okay. Okay.
Oh, dang. So, the environment suddenly changes. You see all of this grass and trees are just blown out across the sea, which instantly freezes, and you see that ice extend back towards you before you are suddenly both standing on the frozen plains of Kamishima. He says, I didn't understand exactly what was driving Sayaka, why she wanted to go there. I thought, look, we could stop in the bubble of mist, we could hawk all the stuff, like buy new identities, go somewhere else, get out of her aunt, get out of my dad and all the things they put on us. But there's something different about her, right?
Yes.
You know.
Well, your plan was pretty well organized, and well, I don't blame you for wanting to get away from all the things on Konoka, all the people, in what's the word? Obstructing upon your life. But yes, Sayaka. Well, continue. She was odd, you say?
Yeah, she just became obsessed with Yarobaru Basin. Like, I'd never heard her talk about it once before. If this were the kind of thing where she'd casually mention, oh, hey, wouldn't it be neat to see Yarobaru Basin? No, this completely out of the blue. But, look, she wanted to go, I'll go.
But was this before or after you talked to the fortune teller?
Geez, even the fortune teller, that was weird, but it was nothing. It was just, I don't know, something to do. It was on the trip when she started to get weird. I thought we were just gonna go to the bubble of mist and then play it by ear from there.
So you don't think that visit contributed, or any other similar events contributed to Sayaka's behavior?
I don't know, I guess she really got into those cards and she got distant. She really wanted to see the old mining site at Yarobaru Basin. I mean, who would even go there? There's not a restaurant there. There's not a resort. You can't, have someone paint your caricature while you're standing next to the scenic Yarobaru Basin.
Oh, that is all very, very true. It is not not the best place to go, really. But go we went, didn't we?
And then you're cutting across the ice. And right here, and she points to this mountain on the edge of this glacier, which suddenly starts to rumble, and you spot this just avalanche, this wall of snow coming down on you, and it crashes down over the both of you. Even though you don't feel yourself being buried, you can still see each other clearly. We got caught up by those ice pirates, but then we were under the snow for, I don't know, maybe an hour before I saw him.
Ah. And do you think he came to rescue you, or?
No, he didn't come to rescue us. He came for... I remember we were suddenly whisked away. I'd never felt anything like it. It's just 1 second I'm losing the feeling in all of my limbs and I can't see anything, and then I'm in this dark room with paper all over the windows. And he was really mad that the staff had broken.
I see.
And then there was something. There was another one. One of them like you, but actually wearing a uniform, except his was black. And he was talking to him like he was one of his lackeys or something. Then he tried to stab him, and there was this whole thing, and I managed to get away, but Sayaka, she defended him.
Was that is unlike her, isn't it?
She was brainwashed. He did something to her head. There was some weird thing that happened, and then she wasn't herself anymore. And okay, fine. I've been hating myself every day since for running away, for turning my back on her, and I know it was a shitty thing to do, and I'm not going to try to say that it's not shitty, but I'm trying to make it right now, so will you just stop doing all of this psychoanalytical bullshit?
Right, I understand. Although, in my professional opinion, running away isn't the... You shouldn't be ashamed of running away. It is a terrifying situation. You need to learn to forgive yourself. You could not have done anything. If you had stayed there, who knows what would have happened to you.
Okay, at least you've got the whole self-reassuring for my own fuck-ups part covered.
That is my job.
Let's just see if I can do anything before I get myself killed.
Yes, about that. Let's talk about what you're currently doing. Well, how about you start from... how you planned all of this? What made you think that this was the path you wanted to take?
The path I wanted to take? Well, what could I do? I find out that she's engaged to him. She wouldn't be engaged to him. She's never liked guys, not even a little. I mean, like, I've at least, experimented a little bit. If she's engaged to him, there's something really fucked up going on. And it's some kind of brainwashing. I don't know if it's a chemical. I don't know if it's magic. I don't know what.
Right. It is disturbing how close she's become, and well, how much she has changed. And well, she seems to be doing well for herself even, but well, Yes and no. That was probably a bit too vague. Hello?
What?
So, how about we go through your plans then, and I can pick out maybe your subconscious can pick out any flaws that your conscious mind has overlooked.
All right. Fine. I mean, I feel like I did a pretty good job setting myself up here. You know, there's people don't really ask questions on the island of glass. Figured out which village they're going to. Cluster the, what do they call them? Meligari. And I think that bastard's sister is there. And so I'm hoping that can be some kind of an in. I just figure out some way to sneak myself into that cluster and wait until she's alone, if she's alone, and then even if she's kicking and screaming, pull her out of there.
So, just so I understand, you're planning to find Changok's sister?
Well, yeah, that's the village that he's going to. That's doing some sort of important thing there. But I guess if the Dragon's Fate is mooring up there, then that kind of makes more sense.
And how confident are we that, Sayaka is going to be there?
I'm pretty sure. Do I have to confront my insecurities over this too now?
Well, that is one of the flaws in the plan. If she isn't there, then it kind of all falls apart at the end, doesn't it?
Look, she'll be there, okay? It's he needs her for all of that league stuff.
That is true. Out of character, has Shiroku ever heard of the Isle of Glass? What can
I
roll?
will let you roll a history check. It's going to be a pretty high DC.
Lovely.
Nope.
How do I get it to stay where we are without looking stupid? Without giving myself away?
Pretend to be a stupid dream boy.
I guess that's what I'm already doing. How do I phrase that? So the Isle of Glass. It is okay here? We're not going through too much trouble?
But well, I don't understand what you're asking me, okay?
Well, I mean...
Look, if you're my subconscious, you can at least be clear with your questions.
Are you suffering any anxiety from being here? Anything I could help with? I mean, tell me about what your experience here, and I could maybe help you.
I mean, I guess the biggest worry getting here was just passing through the Tengu tetrahedron, but now that I'm here, all I can think of are the million ways that this shitty plan of mine could go wrong. That's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about all the ways it can go wrong and trying to stave off the feeling that I'm certain it will go wrong.
There certainly are many ways it could go wrong. I mean, what if Sayaka is still... She will still be brainwashed? What do you plan to do... Or if you manage to get her out of there... Well...
I don't know. Someone's been washing her brain. Unwash it. I don't know. take it out of her head and roll it in dirt. What? How do you unwash something? There's got to be someone who can help.
That is a reasonable assumption that we've made, yes. And the Melayari village, are we expecting a long trip there?
I mean, that's the whole reason I'm here. You know, figure if I was freaked out about going into the Tango tetrahedron, that, you know, obviously all of the council types, they're not going to do that.
Does Shiruku know the council's general attitude towards the Tengu tetrahedron? Like, do they just
I think
ignore it?
you know that the Tengu tetrahedron is firmly outside of council space. That none of the
Right.
Tengu tetrahedron is under the Council of Khans.
Right, I did expect that. So it's all happening in the Tengu tetrahedron then? Or past it, if the case may be.
She gives a little bit of a nod.
Well, if we are confident we can get in, and we are confident that she is there, well, what else are we going to do then? If you are sure that this is, if rescuing Sayaka is worth anything, is worth more to you than anything else, then well, what else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Maybe what I need is help. And with that, you can see once more the needles on the pine trees, the blades of grass, the individual bricks of the buildings start to float up and away, leaving behind only the interior of your hotel room in the Ashen Pale. And with that, we'll go ahead and end this session.